What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm here with my co-host of Defend Your Units, JohnnyKpicks, and we have some special guests tonight. We have stat diggers in the building, DFS by the numbers, and Uncle Weezy. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Waiting for this card. I wish it was here right now, but it is what it is. We're here to talk fights and hopefully waste some time, and then it's going to be here before we know it. And this card is stacked from top to bottom, maybe not the very bottom, but other than that, all of them are amazing. I'm looking forward to it.
For sure. Weezy, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good about this card. I'm feeling fantastic about knowing that I'm going to be watching these fights with my friends tomorrow, just having a good time watching some of the best and most talented fighters in the entire UFC in the history of the promotion getting in the cage tomorrow, squaring off, and we get to bet on it. We get to watch it. We get to make some money doing that. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, dude, this has been a card I've been looking forward to since like January. Brady, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good, man. Yeah, this card's crazy. Like, it's probably on paper one of the best cards in a very long time. Can't wait to break it all down. 14 fights as well, which is awesome. All the fights have stayed on thus far. We still have some time to go, but yeah, 14 fights. I'm looking forward to pretty much all 14 of them, so it's going to be awesome. For
sure, man. I found some decent prop bets and stuff this week. There's some of these fights are just going to be close, man, and they got it's good matchmaking. Like they really had good, like Kevin Holland MVP, Poirier, Saint Denis, all of them. Then you got the striker in Maddalena versus the great, one of the best grapplers in M170. It's definitely a good card. I put the links. Everybody, if you don't know, already know DFS by the numbers and Uncle Weezy, you should. But I put their links for their YouTube and their Twitters in the description. And yeah, man, you guys know these two dudes been doing it for a long time. They're both super sharp. And then there's Johnny.
It's right there with you guys.
Every dude, these four people has been killing it all year. Super sharp, man. Even on the bad cards. So can't wait to get into these fights, man. Let's say what's up to everybody in the chat. First in the chat is Saba. What is up, Saba? Man, I hope you're doing good tonight. I hope you had a good day at work. I know you work a lot lately too, so I hope everything is going good. That's for Weezy right there. TA said, "Oi,
oi." Yes,
doing nice. Scott Lawson in the building, coming bring us some good jokes tonight as usual. I'm sure he said, "I'm here for the knowledge." This is the
Johnny K and Dirty Red show coming up. Yeah. That was hilarious, dude.
Dude, that killed me. You sent me the clip and I was watching it, and it's funny because you was moving your head around. And I'm just sitting there like, what? And
I know you're like, what's going on?
I died, dude. Paca, what is up? I think that's I can't see good. Is that pancakes? That's for
flapjacks right
okay.
There. Yeah. Let's go.
Yep. My eyes are bad. I'm old, man. I'm old. Snerius in the building. He says, "Sup, homies? What is up, Snerius? Appreciate you coming out and supporting as always." Saba said it would not surprise me if DP retires if you lose.
Not really.
Big stage for it. His media day didn't sound that great, but it didn't sound like he's giving up or none. He just is like, man, I got other things going on.
Yeah.
Ryan Jordan said, "So effing stoked. What a great time to be a fan." Yeah, man. This is possibly might be the best weekend of the year, right? For fights. It's gonna be hard to top this card. Maybe a summer or international fight week or something like that. Odds Grappler in the building said, "Let's cook this card, boys. Let's get it." MMA Maestro, he said, "What a crew for tonight's show. Looking forward to hearing what these sharps have to say."
Let's go.
Everybody check out MMA Maestro on Twitter, man. He puts out good bets every single week. Great dude. Jaden's in the building. He said, "Let's go. What's up? Saba, AJ versus." Oh, yeah. That's good. I like Ngannou. The thing that, like in that first fight with Tyson Fury that I didn't factor in is the fact that Ngannou's probably 300 pounds in there of just pure muscle. You know what I mean? That's hard to mess with in boxing. And just being that big and durable, it's hard. I like Ngannou. Who you guys like?
That's fight tonight, right? Like that fight.
Yeah, I think it's going on going to be happening very shortly. I like the overs. If you like decision, go to decision over like 7.5. That's what I would
because it's 10 rounds, right?
Yeah.
Yep. What up, MMA Ricky in the building? Scott Lawson said, "I don't think he retires, but he hangs to maybe get that red panty night with the Hey, that'd be a good fight."
Trilogy.
No, Connor definitely can't take no leg kicks now. Like Francis, yeah. AJ by decision. What's the odds on that fight? I tried to find it on Caesars. They didn't have it
somewhere. I think Francis was like plus 250 if I remember.
Dang, I would have took that. I don't think Anthony Joshua is that good boxing. Like I watched that fat dude beat the shit out of him. Anthony Ruiz the one time.
Plus 260. Francis up money line.
I'd take that. Jaden, what is up, man? So that fight's about to start. But us breaking down these fights is about to start. First fight that we're gonna break down is in the women's flyweight division. We got Joanne Wood versus Marina Marose. And Brady, I'll let you start this one off.
Oh, how kind of you. I'm looking forward to this.
I saved this one for you. I was waiting for a good one. I know you got some heat for this one.
I might. I mean, yeah. So it's the OnlyFans versus the retiring fighter. This fight's kind of interesting. Marose is minus 225. Wood is plus 190. I feel like if Marose comes in there with the right game plan, which would be, clinching against the cage, getting this fight down to the mat, especially, I think she could potentially pay off this price tag. But what kind of concerns me a little bit with Marose is that's not really her game. She doesn't really get a ton of takedowns. I think she's averaging like almost a half a takedown per 15 minutes. So that's scary. But yeah, the path is definitely there. I think Wood's on her way out. She's 38 years old. This has been confirmed that it is her retirement fight. And on top of that, she hasn't looked good for her last 4 fights. So I think if I was to play this fight, I haven't played anything yet, but I was taking a look at the Marose submission prop. It's plus 335 just because if she gets this fight down to the mat, Joanne Woods, her grappling defense is terrible. And Marose, she has finished over half her wins by sub. So it's Marose by sub or pass, and it's plus 335. It's not terrible, but I could also see a world where she goes out there and strikes with Wood and ends up being like a close fight as well. So I'm not sure I want to get there, but curious to hear your guys' thoughts on it. But I'm leaning Marose sub.
Marose sub. Yeah, I don't mind that. Weezy, how you seeing it going down?
So one of the things that I kind of try to keep in mind during 14 fight weeks is that never be afraid to pass on a 14 fight week. We're not going to bet every fight every week anyway. And this is one of those things, right? You got the OnlyFans fighter here in Marose who's probably making 4 or 5 times as much on OnlyFans yearly than she is making as a fighter. That's a very concerning thing because this is not something you do because you want to pick up an extra job on the weekends. Hey, I need a little extra money coming in. It's tight making the mortgage. Maybe I'll go into a cage in my underwear and fight on the weekends against people who train for a living to do this. No, you're doing this because, you're good at it. You have to, like Conor McGregor, guy's a billionaire. He doesn't need to fucking fight anymore. So why would you bet your money on him to go out there and train hard like you need to do in order to succeed in this sport? So when we got 14 fights and I see a retiring fighter who hasn't looked great lately against somebody in Marose who's looked completely out of it against Karina Silva and Jennifer Maia, she was a favorite in that fight and she just didn't look very good.
Yeah.
Now, and then before that, she looked phenomenal against Agapova. Looked great against Mayra Bueno Silva. Beat 7 shades of shit out of Sabina Masso. So I don't know what to expect from Marina here either. I can't lay juice on her. And even though it kind of feels like, there could be some value on Joanne Wood, she's really busy on the feet. She lands a lot of strikes. If this stays standing, it's probably a coin flip and there's value on Wood. But man, there's a bunch of different ways to look at this fight. The way that I'm seeing it is pass. So I'm just going to do that. But I'm picking Marose, but no way I'm laying that kind of juice on her.
Yeah, I agree with all that. JohnnyKpicks, how do you see it going down?
Yeah, I agree with all that too, but I'm just going to take a shot on Joanne Wood to win. I think this is going to be her last fight. I think she's going to give it all. I think I trust her a little bit more in that situation than the OnlyFans. Is she really training hard? Like, how much is she training? If she gets this fight to the mat, though, obviously she's going to have a huge advantage, but I don't know if she can. Like, maybe once, and we'll see what happens. But I hate when I say this. I like Joanne. I almost caught myself. I like Joanne better on the feet, actually. I think she throws more volume. I like her in the clinch with elbows and knees, all that good stuff. But like I said, if it gets to the mat, that's where it's a little bit worrisome. So I'm not betting, but if I would throw a little bit on Joanne. I'm not going to say would, but Joanne.
Calder.
Calderwood, yeah, by decision, overs, obviously, but
yeah, I agree with everything you guys said, especially about the fight just being suspect to bet overall. Wood, like Johnny said, good Muay Thai, pretty good clinch knees, clinch elbows, and even though she's slowed down, she's 38 years old. She still looked decent against Luana Carolina, so it's not that bad. But Marina Morose, I think, is better than Luana Carolina. She has decent striking. I'm still going to favor Joanne Wood striking a little bit in the fight, but I think Morose, she looked like in their face-off, she just looked a little thicker and just like a little bigger today. So I think she's going to be able to land a takedown or two. I don't mind what Brady said with the sub, because if she got, I mean, we were in Columbus and watched Alexa Grasso sub Calderwood pretty easy. And then with Jennifer Maia, got her with the armbar from guard. Morose has already got her once with the armbar from guard. So yeah, I don't mind that at all. But I'm going to take Marais. I think she gets it done by decision or sub. So I don't mind what everybody said, but yeah, well, I won't be betting this fight at all. There's definitely some other good fights to pick from here. All right. Let's see. Shady in the building. He said, "What's up, Weezy? Any action, Effie, our dude for any action sportscast, check him out." Said JoJo is going to lose and then help Coach Wood run Syndicate. Good for her. Yeah, she'd probably be a good coach too. She's like a Muay Thai champion over there in Europe and stuff, so I'm sure she's got the striking down. Dad said thought Marose sub 1-2. Possibility she goes hard, man. She goes for it. My dude, Chef Mikey, Vegas Mikey in the building. So the gang's all here. Wood brought her boy to ceremonies to teach him the agony of defeat. Lessons well learned last a lifetime. Mikey, shout out Mikey, man. Good to talk to you, brother. I've been so busy with work. This sucks. Next fight is in the men's light heavyweight division. We got Felipe Linds versus Ian Cutelaba, and I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about this. Uncle Weezy, how do you see this one going down?
Yeah, this is another one. We're on a 14-fight card. I am just passing. First of all, who knows if Linds even gets medically cleared to fight tomorrow? It seems to happen every goddamn time.
He looks great, though.
Yeah, he did, and Cutelaba looked ready to go too. It's going to be a fun fight, but I kind of thought one of the best plays for this one was a contrarian play to bet the over. Both of these guys get finished in their losses, but you kind of look at the guys that they're losing to and or beating even, and you're like, oh man, like the guys who are finishing Cutelaba are a lot better than Linds. And and the guys that Linds are finishing are not as good as Cutelaba, so I could kind of see perhaps this one, both of these guys being guys that get finished a lot in their losses. Cutelaba, 9 pro losses. He's been finished in 8 of them, right? Linds, 5 pro losses. He's been finished in 4 of them. So it's kind of hard to get to over bets when that's the case, when both guys really aren't that durable, but you have to look at it from both sides, Is Felipe Linds finishing anybody with a pulse? No, I don't think so. I mean, is Ion Cutelaba finishing anybody with a pulse? Tanner Bozer? I mean, like Kennedy and Chekwu finished him, but like he was hitting him with knees from like 8 feet away. I mean, like Linds can't do that shit. So I'm thinking like plus 350 for the fight goes, or even an over 1.5. But here's the thing. Both of these guys are very front-loaded with their finishes. So I kind of feel like if it goes over 1.5, it might go to decision. So why not throw a quarter unit at plus 350 on the fight goes? And then if this winds up being a sloppy and shitty fight, which I could certainly see it being, and it just coasts the full 15, you'll be telling your friends, I told you these guys suck. The fight goes. Let's go, baby, So that's the way I'm looking at this fight. Like that might be the kind of like the counter thinking, the contrarian thinking is that maybe this one goes the distance and neither one of them's good enough to finish the other.
Yeah, you never know. Yanni, how do you see it going on?
Yeah, so I just can't ever trust Cutelaba in any fight. He has a fight IQ of a peanut, if you want to say. So he looks really good for 2, 3, 4 minutes. He'll go all crazy, all berserk, if you want to say. And then he just does the dumbest things ever. Like he'll gas out, maybe he'll shoot for a lot sloppy takedown and get guillotined or choked out or something like that, which I can kind of see maybe happening here. I think Linds is durable enough to survive that first round at least. And then once it gets into the second, I think anything goes. And I think I would rather have money on Linds if you have money on Linds then. But I mean, it's going to be crazy in the first though, because Cutelaba is very aggressive. He's very quick. He does have power in his hands. But I think Linds, I think he can survive, and I think he gets this one done. I'm going to say by a finish at some point, maybe late second round or something like that. But I'm going to go Linds, underdog here.
Okay. All right, Brady, how you see it going down?
Yeah, I feel disgusting for even, considering having any action on this fight, but I actually agree with Johnny's breakdown a lot. I think that Cutelaba is going to go 100% balls to the wall in the first round, probably wins the round, maybe even finishes Linds, maybe even gets a 10-8. But if Linds is able to survive, Cutelaba just falls off a cliff after those first 5 minutes. So yeah, I think these late Linds props are interesting. Like round 2 is plus 750. Round 3 is plus 1,600. Wow. And then Johnny mentioned the sub, which I could see the sub. Like Linds is a black belt in BJJ. Cutelaba loves to get submitted. The sub 2 is 22-1, and the sub 3 is plus 4,000. So I don't want to play this fight, but those were ones that definitely jumped out to me. I wanted to see what the sub was, and they're decent prices. So I'll say Linds as well. Could potentially see a sub just based off the fact of Cutelaba putting himself into a bad spot like he always does, and being very tired while doing so.
Yeah, he does look for a way out. I agree with all of that. You got Weezy. I was looking at that over 1.5, man, because you like Linds. Both of these guys like the cage clinch and grapple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Linds definitely. I mean, he could hold him up there for like 4 minutes just trying to wear on him, but it could also just go haywire. These dudes in the face-offs were looking at each other and going nuts, like they were just. But I mean, they do that, and then it can just be a grappling match. But I love the sub angle too, because Linds got subs, and Ian, when he finds a way out, instead of just getting TKO'd or something, like you said, he'll look to let you sub him almost, and he definitely wants to find ways out. So I like what you guys are saying. The last fight, I had a bet on Linds, and I'm confident about it because the thing is Cutelaba wants to wrestle you, take you down, and beat you up. And Linds is a big dude with his own good wrestling, which is going to make it hard. And then he's the black belt. So if Cutelaba even takes him down, I don't see him just taking him down, holding him down and beating him up like Tanner Boser. And I think he keeps getting up, and Ian keeps getting tired, and then he gets finished. But Linds, like Weezy said, he don't really finish anybody. So it could just be where he holds him up against the cage, takes him down, does a little ground pound. It turns into like the opposite of like Devin Clark and Cutelaba, except, like Felipe Linds doesn't get his teeth, or Cutelaba don't get his teeth knocked out. So, but I like I like Linds, and I like him as an underdog. But the last fight that this happened with Petrosian and Vera, when it got canceled and they rescheduled it, and I was high on Petrosian. And I was like, this time I just didn't feel excited about it. I'm like, there's other fights on here to pick. And luckily I stayed away from it. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And hopefully that pays off. But did you guys have any bets on this? Anybody?
No, I thought about it. I feel disgusting about it, but I might sprinkle some late Linds props. Because if it does get to the second round, like those will be live, because Cutelaba he has nothing left after 5 minutes.
Yeah. Shout out to Robert, New York. Robert in the house with the $5 dono, says Dream Team right here. This is my favorite show. We've done this I think this is our second time on here, but we've done shows with you guys. It's literally my favorite, man. I started watching with Brady, like watching his stuff like all the time. So everybody, everybody should be, man. He really knows his stuff, and he's been doing this. He's still young, but he was doing it when he was young. So it's good. But I said we're all making big money tomorrow night. Pereira, Jack, Kyle, under 3.5, and Dustin versus Saint, Jailton. I don't mind most of it. Pereira.
Robert knows.
He'll get that body snatched. But, man, I appreciate the dono, Robert. And you always coming out, hanging out with us. Shady said the green paint ain't going to make me bet Cutelaba. No. I did like that, though. That was cool. I thought Weezy was wearing that shirt. Kind of representative, but I didn't know if he was going to leave the room and come back painted green or something. But yeah, man, that was wild. 138 MMA, Tyler in the house. He said, look at this all-star crew. Yes, sir, man. Everybody check out 138 MMA too on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Puts out excellent breakdowns. He really knows his stuff. So definitely check him out at 138 MMA. Johnny Newquist with the dono. He said, which fighter 35 and over gets the upset? Who you guys like?
Ooh.
Man, that's hard to say.
Linds. Philippe Linds gets the upset. He's 38.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good. Yeah, and he's an underdog. I like Is Chookagian 35?
I think
Yes,
she's like
35 in a
36.
month.
In a month,
35 in a month. Let's
We
go.
gonna
I got
grandfather her
Chookagian
in.
by decision.
I don't mind Chookagian, dude. And she looked pretty big today too. Like, I mean, she always looks big, but yeah, that the Linds one's nice. I like the Chookagian one too. If I was still in that business of the betting the women, they ruined the start of my year. Bad, so kicked them out. But yeah,
Preaching to the choir, man.
But shout out, John. We appreciate that dono. John said, "Hi, Tyler." Glenbot in the building. So what's up, gentlemen? What's up, Glenbot? Man, appreciate you coming out. Mikey, yeah, he said, I like Linds here where he said, where's the crushed velvet smoking jacket? Can't take you serious without it. God bless you all with tons of cabbage this week. Let's go, Mikey. And Mikey with the $10 super sticker, man. I appreciate that, Mikey. That's freaking awesome, dude. And like we said, just you coming out, spending your time with us is awesome. Derek Fight finish algorithm says Eon finishes him, but I'm siding with Uncle Weezy on this one. That's smart. Fight algorithm, Derek's fight algorithm. If you guys want to follow him on Twitter or Instagram under Derek Izzy, he puts up his fight algorithm, and I think he's picking 61%. So if you were just betting that stuff, you'd be a winning better. So depending on the odds, but yeah, I seen that. Yeah, Brady is the OG and the gold standard for years. That's a fact. There's no lies detected there at all. She looked thick. Which way? But Macy did. Macy looked thick, but she's always thick. She's like a big 125er. But should be a good fight though. This one, I don't know. Men's heavyweight 265, Robelis Despain versus Josh Parisian. Let's see what you got on this, Johnny.
Oh man, this is gonna be nice and easy. I'm gonna go with Despain here to get this one done. This guy is massive, and honestly, he's probably way better than Parisian right now. So Parisian doesn't really have much going for him here, other than maybe trying to survive and make it to round 2, and then he might have a chance. But I don't think it's gonna go that far. So give me Despain by knockout in the first round. I think he gets it done. I don't want to go over it again personally, so just give me that.
Yeah. Brady, how you see it going down?
Yeah, I think it's probably Despain by first round knockout, maybe even like in 60 seconds as well. I feel like Josh actually has some tools to maybe win this fight. Like if Josh Parisian can get a takedown here, or push Despain against the cage, or like Johnny said, extend the fight, yeah, he could win no matter how bad we all think Parisian is. But I just have a feeling that Parisian's going to go out there and just stand at range with this guy, and standing at range with Despain for even 10 seconds is enough to get you knocked out. So I think it's a good spot for Despain to come in here, get a knockout in the first round. In terms of a bet, though, I'm not sure. Like, I think the under 1.5 hits. I think it's a parlay piece. But I was looking at like Despain by like first round knockout, or Despain by knockout in general. And Despain inside the distance, first and foremost, is minus 325. Despain by KO is minus 300. Despain round 1 is minus 235. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I think he does go out there, and I think he gets Parisian out of there pretty early.
Yeah, even the under 1.5 is minus 3 something. Like they're like, you're not getting in on this without paying 3 something for everything.
Yeah.
Weezy, you see Parisian coming out here laying the smackdown?
You might have to take a shot. I was looking today, and I'm probably going to do it, where I take a quarter unit, right? And I take 0.15 units and bet it on Parisian round 2 and 0.1 units on Parisian round 3, just in case something that happens all the time in the UFC happens, and that's the new guy with nothing but first round finishes comes in, live crowd, UFC 299, and they're sending this kid out there to make his debut against a guy who couldn't wrestle very well at all in Parisian. So look, what the UFC is looking for here. They're not putting this guy on the card so that the guy that they secretly liked all along, Josh Parisian, could shock the world against the 6'7" Olympic medalist with an 7-inch reach. Robelis should get this done by knockout in the first round. But if he doesn't, there's a really good chance that he's got literally nothing left in the tank after 5 minutes. And it's a big cage. Maybe Parisian will show us some athleticism and kind of dance and tire this guy out a little bit and make him chase. I mean, like, I'm just trying to tell you guys, you don't bet on a guy that's got a 5-minute career and lay minus 375 on his money line, for a UFC debut. It's a bad idea to do. You get caught in these kind of spots all day. This is the one where you're like, you tell your buddies that you're guaranteeing this guy Despain's going to punt his head into the 15th row. And then he looks absolutely god awful. He can't get off the cage. He can't get up if he gets taken down. And then your buddies are like, dude, that guy sucks. What were you telling me he was going to be good for? So yeah, this is one I'm probably staying away from, but I'll probably get a quarter unit just in case this guy winds up being a complete fraud. And believe me, he could be. He might not even have over any ground game at all. Yeah, and he's over 35 years old.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm with all you guys, dude. I don't trust Despain either. Like you said in this first fight, one guy held him up against the cage for like 4 minutes. He held on for dear life. But as soon as he freaking released him, dude, he took one punch and was like, yeah, I'm going to head out now. Because he's like the only one that didn't go out cold. He just was like, I'm not going to. But, dude, I can't remember. Somebody was saying, though, but like I seen the videos. When he knocks people out, he punches them in the back of the head, too. So you got to watch that. Like, he knocked one dude out stiff with just two. Dude, his hands are so big, too. They're like, so, dude, they were as big as the dude's head, and he's just Donkey Konging him in the back of the head. But, yeah, even Parisian, though, like the way he fights, he's not like a real technical fighter that's going to sit there and play the outside and do this. Like, he's in sloppy clinches and he throws sloppy spinning stuff and he leaves himself wide open. And the biggest thing is he don't like to get hit. Like, you've seen against Boudet, dude. Like, he threw a bunch of punches at Boudet, and as soon as Boudet, who is booty, he can't even strike, started hitting him back. He literally went against cage, covered up, and then Boudet was just like dropped down, took him down and ripped his arm off. I think he's going to get punched really hard real early in this fight and not like it. So I parlayed the under 1.5. By the time Caesars, it was like minus 250 to minus 260 all week and stuff. By the time Caesars released it, it was like minus 330. But it is what it is. I'll take it. It's still going to hit. Speaking of minus 330, we got 340 people here live right now. So if everybody, man, smash that like button for us. We really, really, really appreciate it. And appreciate you guys coming out on your Friday night, hanging out with us, man. But we do got the dream team here. We do got the dream team here.
That's true.
MMA Ricky, dude, shout out for the dono, man. He said Linds looked juice as well on the scales. He did. He looks good, man. He looks good. I had to bet him. It's more of a fade on Cutelaba than anything. Linds sub round 2, round 3. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's
true.
And that's what you like too, Brady, right? Was this? Or
yes, I was muted. Yeah, I was looking at it, man. It's 22-1 for round 2, and then it's 4,000 for round 3. I might sprinkle him. I might not.
Crazy. Yeah, because I mean, that's how he does it.
He loves to get subbed. He loves to get subbed.
Who was it? Dustin Jacoby took him to decision. I think that's the only person, right? Everybody else has finished him. Everybody else.
Yeah.
So, but like Weezy said, Linds don't finish much. So
no.
Everybody said Ngannou died. Yeah, Ngannou died. I've seen that.
Ooh, well, there we go.
Our boy Don's in here. He said, hey, my boys, Oleksiejczuk, love it. Linds, love it. Pedro, love it. Blades, that fights if you an MVP. See, I like how Kevin Holland like rock, paper, scissored him.
Yeah.
They were holding hands. It was cute.
I think he like hit him with the paper. You know what I mean? To cover it.
I think he was just holding hands because it's going to be a boring ass fight.
It's going to be
just watch.
Kevin's
my conspiracy theory.
Lou Betcha in the house. What is up, man? He said, I'm not gay, but it's hard to not be turned on right now by this sausage. What's up, Lou, man? Appreciate you coming out. Mr. MMA Engine, man. Still missing him on Twitter.
Free Lou.
Yep, free Lou for sure.
One of these days, Lou.
Shout out, Lou. We can't wait to get you on a show, man. He said AJ just killed Ngannou. Ngannou is sleeping. What was the odds on AJ KO? Was it just a murder? Like the whole fight, did he just beat him up? It only went.
He dropped him and then he knocked him out cold in the second round. It was kind of hard to watch.
It didn't even look like Ngannou was like, how did he do so good against Fury? Crazy.
It's crazy.
The guy is over 35. He's going to be the guy over 35 that wins. So yeah. You guys not. Oh yeah. Lou, I was waiting. They was in the middle of a good breakdown. Said, I'm trying to give you ratings. We appreciate it. We appreciate the comments, everything, especially having Lou Betcha on the show. Can't wait to get you on the show too. Arkansas MMA Pick said Cuban Olympic medalist making UFC debut in Miami. Yeah, say no more unless you want to mention Parisian got 30-26 on one card versus Parker Porter or finished inside one round by Boudet. Exactly. Excellent points. Yep. And he got face humped by Dante Mays. He got raped a little bit. He got assaulted.
Hey.
So
what it is. It's all legal in the ring.
It is, yeah. Protect yourself at all times. That's what I say. I'm on Body by Parisian diet right now. I seen that. Yeah, he did not look. He looked like he trained at Mickey D.
He's sponsored by cookies, though. Some kind of cookie brand sponsors him.
Makes sense. Keeblers. Hot take. DP could win a decision. Yeah, for sure. Metalingus, what is up, man? He said Fantastic Four. That's a great name. Great name. Oh yes, please MMA stuff rather than this boxing nonsense. Happy Friday. Yeah. What up, Brandon? Appreciate you coming out. Tyler said, why is the common belief that Despain will have bad cardio because he finished everyone early? Yeah, you're right. Same thing with like Saint Denis and all these guys. We never know. Some we may never know. There's some Manuel Torres. We may never know if that dude has bad cardio. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because he might just murk everybody so quick. That was beautiful, that fight. Octagon Outcome in the house said, boys, holy shit, Ngannou out cold. Shades is steep, AKO. Yeah. You got to get back. Parisian represents white blocks of cheese everywhere. Stand up, Cheese Nation. Yeah, but not. He's like Gouda. Sounds like Francis is done with his boxing experiment. Yeah,
he got his money. I think he's good.
Yeah. Oh, he got 10. Yeah. Maurice Green, they said next. No, he's coming to the Bellator now to get knocked out by Henan Farah. How do you see that now when he's going to fight that big dude that can actually punch?
Changes everything now.
It's like he just went to the Shadow Realms, right? So that's no bueno. Yeah, man. All right, next fight. Wait, did I make sure I didn't skip one really quick? Yeah, I went back and got it. Next fight, men's middleweight division. Michelle Pereira versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. I'm gonna let Weezy start this one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm on Michelle here. I'm a fan of the way Michelle fights. I do like guys that are durable and fight with pressure and pace and output. And Michelle Pereira,
Mikhail.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what?
Johnny got all smug there for a second. Yeah.
We all of us have had this problem this week. I'm like, in the middle of my breakdown, I was reading my notes and I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm calling one of these guys Pereira, the other one Oleksiejczuk. So you know who I'm talking
UFC
about.
Did this on purpose, Sean Shelby's ass.
Yeah, he does that kind of stuff every once in a while. Do you remember when he had Tai Hyung Bang going up against Leo Kuntz? You remember that one? And they put it on the screen like Bang Kuntz, like this is gonna be a great fight.
There was a reason why.
Yeah, there was a reason
because of matchmaking.
And that was an interesting fight. That I believe that was the fixed fight, where Tai Hyung Bang was a big favorite, and then all this money all of a sudden came in, and he was a big underdog. And like the commission went back to Bang behind the stage. They're like, "Look, man, if you throw this fucking fight, and like they were threatening him because the line moved so much, they knew something was wrong, and he wound up going out there and winning the fight." And then he had the mafia after him because like he was literally threatened by the commission and the mafia. The mafia tried to fix the fight. The commission told him, we know you're trying to fix this fucking fight. And if you fix it, there's going to be hell to pay. So it wound up being a great one. Bang Kuntz. Check it out. But,
sounds like Pulp Fiction, man.
I'll put that in the old Google right now. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, man. Check that one out. I don't think you're going to have to search pretty far to find the MMA version of that one. But with Oleksiejczuk, he's a guy that is going to pressure you. He's going to come forward. And Pereira is a guy who needs space to operate. When you watch Pereira do his best work in the UFC, he's got space or he's moving forward. And when he's doing either of those things, he's very dangerous. But when you watch the Ponzinibbio versus Pereira fight, when Ponzinibbio is on that pressure, watch how Pereira deals with it. He deals with it by moving laterally and running away, not by throwing offense. And the offense that he does throw is more or less to try to get some respect, but it doesn't get respect. Pereira gets respect by being the one going forward or being the one operating at space. And the one thing that we can count on from Oleksiejczuk, when you watch this guy fight, dude, he's going to look like he fights like, you remember that scene in Me, Myself, and Irene where Jim Carrey was like this, and then he just gets knocked out by one quick punch. But that's how, you know, like Oleksiejczuk, he comes in moving his head. He looks like he's on bath salts, but he's just constantly in your face. He doesn't give you space. He fights the same way every single time. And the way that he fights is the way that I see Michel Pereira struggling. That's being on his back feet, moving laterally, and not really being the one maintaining distance and controlling the pressure of the fight. So I like the stylistic matchup for Michal Oleksiejczuk, and I've got a 1-unit bet on him at plus 120.
That was a beautiful breakdown, Weezy. Beautiful.
Of course it was.
Beautiful breakdown. For 80, how you see this one going down?
Yeah, I don't think I'm touching this one. I'm picking Oleksiejczuk as well. I think it's a dog or pass. I think it's a close fight. One thing that kind of spooked me was, I heard Michal Oleksiejczuk's recent interview when he was talking about how he doesn't want to pay his coaches. So for this camp, he said he's his own coach and he doesn't have training partners this camp. He's training with like his buddies. So that scares me a little bit. But at the end of the day, I do think it's a close fight. I like the pressure from Michal, the power, the volume that it brings to the table. I feel like both guys don't have the best gas tank. I feel like this fight is just going to be very close. So yeah, give me Oleksiejczuk at plus money, but I don't think I'm touching it.
I like it. Johnny, let's hear your breakdown, man.
All
What
right,
you
man.
got for this?
I'll be on the island. I usually do well on the island. I'm all over Pereira here. I love him. Like, I think he gets this one done. I think he's more athletic. He's got the speed advantage. He's got all the tools. I think he can use some wrestling and grappling here. It doesn't need to take much to get him down too. It's kind of going to be fish out of water if he does. So I don't mind Oleksiejczuk pushing forward because everybody does that to Pereira. Everybody. And he's won all these fights. Yeah, it's probably going to go to decision and probably be very close. But I think he gets it done. I think he lands more. I think he lands the more impactful shots. And I don't think Oleksiejczuk is going to be able to get to him. This is a bigger cage, which is only going to help out Pereira too. And I think he's going to be too athletic and too quick for Oleksiejczuk. So I love Pereira in this spot. And if I should have put more money down on it originally because the line went up, but I'll stay where I'm at. But I like Pereira to win. I'm going to say by decision, but it would be a little crazy though if he gets a submission. I will say that.
I would say there's still time to hedge, Johnny. That's
I ain't hedging shit.
Yeah, dude. I mean, styles make fights, and then not only that, but I like Oleksiejczuk actually being the same size as Pereira. Pereira's got skinny legs. He might look a little thicker in his muscles, but that's just what gasses him out, anyways. But if you've seen like in face-offs, like they're about the same height and stuff. And Pereira, he's a weight bully. He likes to go down to 170 and try to fight, little dudes and beat them up, like Diego Sanchez and Tristan Connolly. 2 L's he took also. But he's decent.
I will counter that weight bully with I think Oleksiejczuk's a speed bully because we went up to light heavyweight because he was quicker than all of them.
Yeah, and then he found out that them weight bullies is real deal Holyfield's up there. So he is like, I'm gonna head out now. But he
was too scared. He was too scared.
Down at 185, man, he's looked really good. You know what I mean? Like he beat up Sam Alvey. That's not easy to do. Not easy to finish him. But
as a legend.
Yeah, but like Cody Brundage, like I like Michal's grappling down here at 185. Like Brundage took him down, he was able to reverse him and then punch him out to the shadow realm shortly after. Shout out Lou Betcha. Sorry about that. I know that one hurts, but and then with Cheedy, dude, he went to war, and I think Cheedy is just as good a fighter as Michel. Like if them two fought, they would both fight hard in the first round and then slow down in the second and third, probably go to like a split or something. But I like Cheedy was grabbing Michal, hitting him with all these big knees to the body, dude. They got him with the tie clinch, hit him with every single thing that he could hit him with big shots, had him hurt for a second. Michal ate it all and then just hits him with a big left hook, drops him, and then gets on top of him and pounds him out. And I think that's the same type of style here. Like Michelle likes to move around, be pretty, and catch you when you're coming in a little bit. But Mikhail, like Weezy said, he's moving his head. He's coming in. He's working your body. He's throwing 4 or 5 punch combinations, and he's tough as hell. He's a junkyard dog. The way to beat Mikhail has been to take him down and sub him, and that's not Michel Pereira's game, dude. He don't got the cardio to take him down and sub him. You see when he wrestled Nico Price. He almost died. Nico Price almost killed him
at 170, though. At 170, we don't know. This could be a new mythical creature.
Well, no, here's the mythical creature fighter at 185. Before he came into the UFC, his last fight at 185, he got knocked out cold by Dusko Todorovic. That's why he went to 170. He don't want the smoke at 185. He comes up and fights a dude. He goes, "Yeah, I'll take on Petrosky, who ain't gonna punch him. Has no chance." You know what I mean? He took 1 punch and quit worse than Chidi did. Like Chidi and Petrosky both took a punch, went to the ground, ate some ground and pound, and then just rolled over and looked at the ref. You know, they weren't like done. They just like gave up. But I like Mikhail here. It's a style, man. Styles make matchups, dude. And certain guys can beat certain dudes, and certain guys are going to beat guys that beat dudes they beat. It's just weird. But Oleksiejczuk is going to be in his face. He's not going to give him time to move around and have all this free space kicking range. He's going to be in a boxing range hitting him with punches. And then I like his grappling actually looked good against Chidi. It looked good against Cody. So I don't know if he's going to take it to the ground, but I don't think Michel Pereira is going to take him down and sub him like Caio Borralho. You know what I mean? And it took Caio Borralho a round and a half. And I'm going to say Caio's wrestling's better than Pereira, and he's even bigger too. And it took him a round and a half to even get Mikhail down. And he took some big shots to get in there to do that. I like this forward pressure style, man. I think that he's going to suffocate him, cut off the ring. Michel Pereira is going to be moving around in the first round. He's going to land some good shots, but Mikhail's going to land them too. If you watch Michel's fights with like Ponzinibbio, Chaos Williams, all these guys, he's moving around in the first round. He's doing all this stuff. By the second, he's getting a little slower, and by the third, he's stationary, and he's just standing there fighting in a cage. Exactly. He's taking their little punches. He's up here at 185, taking them grown man punches. This dude was knocking people out at 205. So I think that he's going to put it to Michel Pereira. I just think Pereira will have some good wins at 185. I just think that a junkyard dog that's in your face with boxing doesn't give you it, and he has bad cardio. It's going to be taken by. It's not going to look good. It's just my opinion, Johnny.
I just respectfully disagree, and I think you're wrong.
This is interesting too with Pereira, and you have to watch the film in order to know this. He gets takedowns. He's got 11 takedowns, and he's only allowed 1. So you're like, oh yeah, Michel gets takedowns. He lets you back up. I mean, he might as well be Kevin Holland. You know, where like if he takes you down, you get right back up. Check out this stat. This is interesting. Michel has 11 takedowns, and he's only allowed 1. Michel gets out-controlled in his fights. He's got 11 takedowns for every 1 that his opponents have, but yet he allows more control time to his opponents than he gets. That's what we call negative grappling efficiency. He's not a guy. And also, Moyes is in there talking about Euro trash grappling. You know what's worse than Euro trash grappling? Asia trash grappling. And you find me, because Michel Pereira's got 7 subs on his record, and you're like, holy shit, he can grapple. Dude, find me somebody that's not a 0-0 Wang, you know, that he actually subbed, because this guy fought all over the world. He wasn't subbing Brazilians that have been on a mat before. He subbed
Zalimi Imadaev was probably his best sub.
Zalimi Imadaev. Oh my God. You remember that guy? You know what his number 1 weapon was? Punching you in the nuts. That dude would just come out there and just sack punch you. Like he was getting disqualified for it.
Not to mention, Michel's like 39, right? To say that guy is third.
He's 30 years old.
Dude, he came into the UFC at 26 and he had 32 fights and said he was a blacksmith prior to fighting. How the hell do you do all this shit? What is he, Forrest
He's
Gump?
a Renaissance man, Cody.
He's Benjamin Button. How do you do all this shit? Renaissance. They're 27. I was a blacksmith. I'm a capoeira guy.
Hey,
I don't believe
this guy's like Santa Claus. He's fighting in like Korea one day, and then the next day he's got to fight in Belarus, and then 2 weeks later he's in. You know, it's like what? You know, like who fights this much? You know, so I don't know about that. I don't think Pereira's that good of a grappler. I think this is going to be a striking match, and we're going to see who deals with the pressure better.
Yeah, the fight that got him into the UFC, he was fighting a Chinese dude when he did the flip thing on he was fighting a dude that was the worst fighter ever. So he's just like jumping off the cage.
Well, that's
and
the thing.
He
was playing with his food back then. He doesn't play with his food now. He gets him out.
How'd that work with Tristan Conley? Huh?
He was playing with his food and he got burned. Okay, it's fine.
Jumbo says, I don't know. Chidi was looking good in that fight up till the KO, and I think Pereira is a better striker than that. So that makes me think Pereira is better here.
Dude, Chidi actually knocks people out. Who the fuck is Michelle Pereira knocking out that's not hot chocolate?
We know that Chidi is round one or bust now.
But they say looking good up until the KO. And Michelle Pereira may look good up until that liver shot or just a speed bag. He might speed bag.
He ain't going to catch him, Cody.
When he's winning.
He ain't going to catch him.
Third round, your boy ain't moving.
If it makes it that far.
It's 0-0 wags. It's a great show.
What's the odds in that? I don't even know.
Yeah, Michelle. I'll never lose a bet to a guy named Michelle.
Well, I'm gonna clip this shit right here. Get ready.
We got 468 people, 469 people live. So everybody, if you can, man, hit that like button, drop us a comment, let us know who you like. I missed a comment really quick too. That someone asked us. Oh yeah, will this fight go the distance?
I think it does.
I'm picking
Arkansas.
I'm picking decision.
See it going the distance potentially. I think if there's a finish, I think it's on the Oleksiejczuk side because he's got a ton of power.
Only.
But yeah, I agree with Johnny. Oleksiejczuk is very.
He's got 14 wins in the first round, and after that, he doesn't win after that.
Very front loaded, without question. Yeah.
Another reason why I like Pereira.
But the thing that's really good is Pereira slows down too.
Yeah, so he does.
We don't know. This could be a new mythical creature. You just said this in a couple breakdowns ago.
Okay, hold on. What we do know is he slows down. What we don't know is if he slows down at 185. But we do know he slows down.
Yeah. But the reason why he probably did because he literally death cuts. This guy's massive for 170. I don't even know how he made weight.
Got them skinny legs. That's why.
Maybe now he doesn't need skinny legs anymore.
Dude, this next fight's gonna be good, and it's a crazy line, man. Men's lightweight, Mateus Gamrot versus.
Hey, Cody, real quick, did you forget the Almeida fight or?
He might be going out of order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
don't forget
these down like weeks in advance because I do my tape like a week or two. In
advance
sometimes. Yeah. So they'll be out of order. But yeah, we'll get. Almeida. I think he's co-main the way I have it. I think he beat out Benoit.
UFC 299 co-main.
I thought it was
this kid Almeida was going to be a star.
That would be awesome.
I think there's a lot of Kazakhstan people in Miami. I think. But it's just it'll be coming up in a couple.
Okay.
I appreciate that. I thought I missed the Linds fight.
I'm watching too. We missed fights before.
Try to keep it professional. Mateus Gamrot and Rafael dos Anjos, and I'm gonna let Brady start this one off. I know you got a good one for this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty good spot here for Gamrot. I was actually looking to parlay Gamrot last week. He was like minus 310, and I was looking something to parlay it with. Didn't quite get there, and then the next day he's like minus 410, 420. So I'm like, he should get the win. I think it's a good matchup for him. He should be able to push RDA against the cage. He should be able to take him down. And what I like Gamrot is he's not the best at really controlling guys, but what he does do is he can go out there and shoot 10, 15 to 20 takedowns if need be. Striking should be semi-competitive, but Gamrot with the wrestling should be enough to edge it out. RDA, 39 years old. I think he's the oldest fighter on this card. Could potentially see a decline. He didn't look that great in the Luque fight. Vicente Luque, of all people, took him down 8 times. That's a terrible look. So should be a great spot for Gamrot. Gamrot, I'm thinking by decision, but nothing's really sticking out from a bet. Because Gamrot by decision, I think, is like minus 165 best price. So I think it's how it happens, but I'm not sure I want to touch this fight other than maybe like Gamrot and like a DGen parlay. Because I do think he wins and I'm fairly confident in it.
Yeah, I don't mind. I was looking at that Gamrot by decision. It was like the same line as freaking Basharat that I played last week, and it gave me flashbacks. So I'm like,
I will say I'm a little bit more confident in this one, but still, it's like, I need a little bit more.
Scary.
Yeah. Weezy, how you see it going down, brother?
Yeah, like I could picture like making a case for Rafael dos Anjos just because he got taken down 8 times by Luque. To his credit, those were the first takedowns that Vicente Luque has ever shot in the UFC. Right? I mean, I guarantee you when he was training, like Rafi was like, well, at least I don't have to train my wrestling. I'm fighting Luque. And then I could see after the 3rd round him telling his coach, you told me this prick wasn't going to wrestle me, But, yeah, dude, I mean, like, Mateus Gamrot shooting 14.2 takedowns per 15 minutes, you guys. So when you're doing that kind of an offensive output with the wrestling, with the pressure, right, it makes a big difference. And Dos Anjos has got 51% takedown defense on 119 attempts against. So it's not just like, you guys, it's not just like, oh, he had a couple of bad fights. No, I mean, Dos Anjos is showing that horrible takedown defense over a long stretch of 23 fights, 382 minutes in the UFC octagon. So, yeah, I think Gamrot gets the takedowns. He wins the minutes here and comes out the other end with a decision. But, man, I mean, you're laying a ton of juice on whether it's the money line, whether it's the decision prop. Like, I thought about putting it in the greasy 4-leg parlay this week. I wound up coming back to Phillips by decision instead. But either way, I think Gamrot wins this one by decision. But I think everybody believes the same thing here, you know? So I don't think there's a lot of value in the line right now.
Yeah. Johnny, how do you see it going down?
Yeah, I see it going down exactly what those two said. A lot of wrestling, a lot of chain wrestling from Gamrot. I just don't think RDA is going to be able to stuff the majority of them. And on the feet, if it does stay on the feet, I think it's going to be pretty competitive. And both guys are durable. I don't see a finish unless it's some fluke injury that, you know, don't
you put that on Rafael?
I'm knocking on wood. Knocking
on wood. That would be number 3.
I know, but this is the guy that happens to for the good for him. But yeah, give me Gamrot by decision. He gets it done. I don't think he's going to be able to sub or knock out Dos Anjos, and I think it's just going to be a chain wrestling clinic all day. And I mean, I was lucky enough to get Gamrot a little bit lower to parlay him. I found something I like, so I like him a lot. He's one of my more confident picks.
Nice, yeah, man. I honestly don't think Mateusz Gamrot's going to be able to like fully out wrestle RDA. You know what I mean? Where he's just like, he does his ankle pick and he gets a takedown. But like for having like some European grappling contests, a lot of them back in the day, like he doesn't have very good control on the ground. That's why he's all like, but I mean, it was like Kutaladze getting out, Saruki and guys like that. But man, Dariush, I mean, good scramblers, but like, it doesn't seem like he has very good control down there. But his striking looked better against Fiziev. I'll give him that. But in this fight, like, I don't think he's just going to be able to take him down, get control time, but it's just going to be his volume of takedown shot, just throwing punches, all that, maybe some clinch and all that. He looked a little decent size bigger than RDA. RDA is a little older now, because obviously if this was, 5 years ago, even, it would be probably lined a little bit different. But I like Mateusz Gamrot. I like him by decision. He's not dangerous, really. I mean, he subbed Jeremy Stevens, and then he hurt Diego Ferreira with that knee to the body. But other than that, he's not really finishing anybody. RDA isn't really finishing anybody. He hasn't had a knockout in almost 10 years, and that was over a Chinny Cerrone back in the day. So, yeah, man, I'm going to take Gamrot. I'm going to take him by decision, but I threw the fight goes to decision in a parlay. Just because I can't see this fight finishing by either one of these guys,
Yeah, the overs
like
are
minus 275. I put that with the Marlon Vera over 3.5. Marlon Cheeto and them. So I think that was pretty good. Then I got like a violence one, but yeah, man, it should be a really good fight, and we'll definitely know a lot more. Like, how do we compare Dos Santos real quick to Benil? Like, what's the skills there? How do we see that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, Benil is just a phenomenal wrestler, grappler. He blends those two arts together really well. But he's much, I think he's way bigger than Rafi. That's the thing.
Okay.
Rafi was having trouble with that cut down to 155. He's going up to 170 and winning some, like Rafi was winning some of those grappling contests up at 170 against some of these guys. I mean, they are somewhat similar. They really are somewhat similar. It's just that, right now, Gamrot's 33. Dos Anjos is 39. I was saying this on my show. You guys, after this fight, Dos Anjos, if this fight goes to decision, Dos Anjos is going to be 4 minutes short of spending 11 hours of his life in his underwear in a cage fighting grown men. 11 hours. Can you imagine that?
That's crazy.
There's so many miles on the tires. There's so much
and think about
on the engine, man. I mean,
yeah. Think about how his career started. He got his jaw broke, right? He got his jaw broke by Clay Guida. But Jeremy Stevens knocked him out cold after he was beaten up. So that was like his first fight in the UFC. Like, he started off bad and then came back, became the champ. But yeah, a younger one would definitely be better. But Can Dustin get the KO tomorrow, boys? That's how he's gonna have to, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see it, but
RDA looked good on the scales. Definitely, I think Gamrot by decision is safe play. That is how it is going down. I see it too. We really need to build up RDA anymore. This fight's gonna be really good though. Men's heavyweight, Curtis Blades versus Jailton Almeida. Johnny K, you can start this one off.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Almeida here to get this done just because I trust him more to implement his game plan. I think we know what we're going to get from him. He's going to go in there, try to shoot for some takedowns and work the grappling and try to go for subs. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I think eventually he will get Blades down. Now, Blades will have the better striking, I believe, and maybe a little bit more power, but is he going to implement some of the wrestling? I don't think so because we haven't seen it in a while. Plus, it might not be a good idea to go down on the ground with Almeida, at least early on. But I just think eventually Almeida will get the takedowns. It might take him a couple times, maybe 2 or 3 times, but once he gets him flat on his back, I think we'll know who's going to be winning this fight. So give me Almeida. I think he gets this one done by submission. I'll say 2nd or 3rd round. I think the 1st round it'll go over 1 round, but after that, I think Almeida should get the finish on the mat.
Okay. All right. Weezy, how you see it going down?
So I've got Jailton Almeida down as Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week this week. He's my most confident pick on the card, even though he's right around a pick 'em.
I like it.
And it's not that I think Curtis Blades is a bad fighter. I think he's a phenomenal fighter. He really is. I mean, he's one of the best wrestlers in the entire heavyweight division, and he's proven it over and over and over again with his numbers, with his metrics, with his ability to be able to continue to go to the wrestling. But Jailton Almeida kind of takes it a step further in that Curtis Blades has never even attempted a submission in the UFC. So once he gets you down, he's very basic, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, what he does very well. He gets to half guard, he keeps you there, he lands ground and pound, and he wins the round, or he pounds your head through the canvas and finishes you. So I mean, like, he's very good at what he does. But the thing about wrestlers is when you put them on their back, they don't have anything. And we got to remember, Blades is not a BJJ guy. He's a wrestler. You could see it in the stats. You could see it in the way he fights. This is going to be a grappling match. And just because Jailton's takedowns don't necessarily aren't successful right away, once he's shooting in, they will be grappling. And it's the jiu-jitsu guys who get to the more dominant positions more often than not. And Jailton has been so dominant with his wrestling. You don't see these kind of numbers. This guy's cage time is spent in control time positions over 91% of the time.
Oof,
it's crazy.
I told this stat to Brady earlier this week. Do you know how many distance strikes Jailton Almeida has landed in his UFC career?
4.
7.
Damn it.
No shit.
7.
That's crazy.
And he's allowed 4. So this guy, we're going to be grappling, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be grappling here. This is not going to be a distance striking match. And Almeida kind of sets up his takedowns the same way every time. He throws that teep kick right up the middle, and he's tall and he's long, so you have to respect that, and you have to put your guard up. And as soon as you put your guard up to guard against the teep kick, he's shooting off the leg that was planted, and he's in on a double leg. So your arms come up, he gets in underneath you, and then he picks you up and he puts you on your back. And he does it to everybody. And the size is not going to be a problem. I mean, if you can throw Derek Lewis around like a heavy bag, that's a man that's 285, 290 pounds on fight night. So if he can get his arms around the ass of Parker Porter, he can get this guy down. So I think he's going to get him down. And once he does, I think Jailton's going to look really good there. And I think he's going to make it look easy.
Nice. That was a good breakdown, Brady. Or Weezy. Brady, you're next.
Well, you could say break because I have pretty much the same break. I'm seeing it the exact same way as Weezy. Yeah, I mean, I think Yeah, Blades said in an interview that he's not going to wrestle offensively. I don't know why people keep saying that Blades is going to wrestle offensively. I don't think that would make sense because, on the feet, Blades' striking is actually really good outside of him getting, knocked out brutally by these bigger guys. But his striking is really good, really underrated. And Jalton, like Weezy said, we haven't seen any striking whatsoever. So I think that Blades is going to try to keep this fight on the feet, but I have a feeling Almeida gets him down. Almeida, this guy, wrestling credential wise, yes, it's Curtis Blades who's the better wrestler, but Jalton's just a physically strong freak. Like, this guy's so strong. He's picking up these big dudes like it's nothing. I think he gets Blades down, and once he does, I think it could be a wrap. Like, I think there's a huge difference in terms of BJJ in favor of Jalton Almeida. So, yeah, I play the Jalton Almeida sub-1, sub-2, plus 800, plus 1,400. And then I'm probably going to add on with like a Jalton Almeida inside the distance or round 1, round 2, because, the Derek Lewis fight, I think it's an outlier. I mean, this was his first win outside the third round. Like, Jalton has 20 wins, 19 of them came before the third round. 18 of them came before the over 1.5 round mark. So I think Jalton takes him down and gets on top, and I'm thinking like a head and arm. You try to get on Lewis, but Lewis, you can't head and arm that guy. This guy has no neck, whereas Blades, I think he's going to get it. So head and arm, Jalton Almeida round 1, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Man, Almeida did look big today. Like at face-offs, he looked freaking huge. Like Lewis Blades is big too, but I don't know. He just didn't look that big. What do you guys think if Jalton Almeida would have grew up in America and wrestled? Like, what would he have done? You think he would have been a national champ? You know what I mean?
Probably.
With that kind of athletic ability, I mean, the sky is the limit in whatever sport that you're playing. And that guy Jalton is clearly not only talented athletically with the God-given talent, but then he's also got some scientists behind him. Holy shit, does he have scientists behind him? Because
he's
no human being should look like that unless they've been carved out of marble.
Right.
So, yeah, dude, I think that he would have been phenomenal as a wrestler. Absolutely phenomenal. Because a lot of those guys in the wrestling room, and I know this, they're grinders. They're tough dudes. But when you put that rare athlete in the wrestling room, and then you find that rare athlete actually has the wherewithal to wrestle, which means you have to be a grinder. You have to be mentally tough. You have to have that alpha male in you that is in that room and putting yourself through that because you enjoy the feeling at the end of the day of getting the best of another man, of just besting another man on their best day. And somebody like Jalton, Jesus Christ. Crazy. That guy is a unit.
Yeah. And so I'm with you guys, like where Blades probably will have maybe the better wrestling. But I think that Almeida, his jiu-jitsu, like, is going to be so much different. Like Blades hasn't really had to fight any grapplers, so I don't know how much jiu-jitsu he's been doing off his back in his whole career and throwing up arm bars and stuff. I don't think he's probably done too much. I think he's more on top, beating up a dummy bag, a heavy bag, and stuff like that. I see Almeida, man, getting the takedowns. I see Almeida working around freaking Blades, taking his back and choking him or getting a arm triangle or something, man. So I like Almeida. I'm mad. I was going to bet him. It came down between Almeida and the Vergara over. And the Almeida line kept shifting all week. Like I would go to bet it and then it would change up. And then I'm like, all right, we'll see. And then it'd go down and then I didn't bet it. And pretty mad. I could have got it at plus 100 the other day, just like 2-3 days ago. I had it on my phone ready. But I like this other bet too. Because this fight, Derek or Curtis Blades could easily also come out here, stop the takedowns, and just land big shots and end Jalton Almeida. But I see him getting it. I see him getting it done, and that's crazy. So this is basically a pick 'em, and all four of us are picking Almeida, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty good.
I'm pretty confident too. I think all of us are pretty confident.
If you would have picked Oleksiejczuk, we'd have been all four on that too. And
like I said, I'd rather be on the island on that one. That's okay.
Could have maybe made a little parlay or something, but. Next fight is in the women's flyweight division. Well, let's see. Mighty the Great, what is up? Said under 1.5 in this fight, minus 140. I like the under 2.5 for sure.
But I think he's talking about the Ion fight.
The Kutalaba.
Oh, Ion. Oh, yeah.
I like under 2.5.
Yep. Yeah, there will be bloods going against him. They have to bet it. Max bet Almeida. Yeah, I like him. Next fight, women's flyweight. Caitlin Chookagian. I don't have her other name wrote down. And Macy Barber. Johnny, I'll let you start this one. I believe I went. I keep trying to go back and like.
I will start this off by saying I'm just not a Barber fan. I just can't get behind her for some weird reason. And it's probably because she lost to Maverick and they gave her that win. But I digress. But I do think she's improving. I still think she lost against Andrea Lee too, which is weird. But I mean, she got pretty good striking and grappling. She's well rounded. But Chookagian looked pretty big on the face-offs, like at least like 4 inches taller, and the reach is going to be crazy too. So I'm kind of a little worried with my pick here because this fight's going to go to decision. I know that for a fact, but is Chookagian going to be able to stuff the takedowns and just outstrike her for the whole time? Because I don't know if Barber is going to need to get some wrestling going here, I think. And if not, I think it's going to be a long night for her. She's going to get touched up at range. So I'm going to stick with my pick. I ever so slightly lean Barber. I think she just has a little bit more finishing upside, if you want to say, but I still don't think it's going to go to be a finish in this fight. But gonna go Barber still, even though I kind of don't want to. One of those things, but it is what it is. By decision.
The way you started that off, I thought you were definitely going Chookagian.
I want to switch my pick, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Macy Barber, she's been getting robbery wins.
Don't like her. I don't know why.
Yeah. It happens like that sometimes with fighters. Weezy, how you see this one going down?
Yeah, so this is an interesting one because before tape, I was like, okay, this is a great spot for Barber because she's a pressure fighter, and she's really good in the clinch. And what you want against somebody like Caitlin Sermonara is somebody that's going to pressure, that's going to close that distance, not stay at range with her because she's tall, she's long, and she's got really good technical kickboxing for the division. And then I went and I watched tape and I'm like, holy shit, Macy doesn't really pressure that much. Macy actually kind of counts on her opponents to initiate the grappling, and she's got great anti-grappling. She'll stuff some takedowns, get back up when she is taken down, and if you shoot in sloppy, she'll hurt you. She'll put you up against that cage, and once she's got you in the clinch, she's mean, but she seems a little too happy to just kind of stay at range and strike. And she's not tall. She's not long. She's got some power. But if she does that against Caitlin, if she doesn't show some urgency in trying to close the distance and get into the clinch here, she's gonna get picked apart. That's a fact. Caitlin's throwing 16 distance strike attempts per minute. Macy throws about 12. So I think Caitlin will be a lot busier. I think she's going to be a lot more technical. And I think where Caitlin is going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage here is in the clinch and on the mat. But I don't really see Macy getting a lot of takedowns, and I don't see her pressuring to the point where I think that she's going to wind up in that clinch a lot of the time. Caitlin's fights stay standing about 78% of her UFC cage time, but it's only 46% for Barber. But Barber is the one that's getting out-controlled by her opponents at almost a 2-to-1 ratio. She's only winning 36% of the control time positions in her fight. So if I can't count on her to get into that clinch and close the distance, I think Sermonara at plus 170 on the money line, and then even better, plus 260 on the decision prop. Dude, Macy Barber tore her ACL against Modafferi in the first round. You could see it happening. It was a non-contact injury. And she fought through that. She's really durable, really tough, and she has a ton of heart. So I think Caitlin's only path here is decision. But you can get that at plus 260 when you're paying plus 180 for the money line. So I have a half unit on Sermonara by decision, trying to win 1.3 here.
I like it.
Not at all, especially with the breakdown. Brady, how you see it going down?
Yeah, Chookagian by decision plus 260. The split decision is plus 800. I mean, that's kind of crazy because I kind of feel like if she wins, whoever wins, it's probably a split decision. More physical fighter. I think she hits harder, but it's going to decision. The judges, they suck, they're blind, and they screw up a lot of both these fighters. They screw up their fights all the time with some bad decisions. You look through, Caitlin Chookagian's fights, she's won a lot of fights that she's clearly lost. And for Barber, it's the same exact thing. So I think this has split decision written all over it. The fight to end by splits only plus 275, which you typically don't see it that low. It just goes to show you what the odds makers think. It's going to be close. It's going to decision. Somebody's probably going to get screwed. So I'm with Weezy in terms of it's probably dog or pass, but I can't get there myself. And to sit back and I might not even watch this one, actually. I might just take a break and, go get a snack or something. But the pick for me is Barber.
Yeah. I agree with you guys on a lot of all that. I mean, it's probably not going to be the greatest fight. Both of them is going to be missing a ton of punches. They both miss so many punches. It's crazy. These girls punch air. Remember even the one time Uriah Faber's like, you got to try to hit her, Macy. He's like, you got to
was that Grasso? I think it was the Grasso fight where Macy was like shadow boxing from 10 feet away. It was,
And Faber's like, bro, you got to actually try to hit her, man. So, and that's what Chookagian does. These girls both throw like and land like 20% Polaroid Val, somehow get the finish or get the win. But I like Chookagian here just because, like, yeah, man, I thought Barber looked good against Hebas, who, is a 115er. But against Andrea Lee, dude, she did not look great. Like, she was getting out grappled by Andrea Lee, which ain't a good look because Chookagian's grappling is like not bad. You know what I mean? She might be able to offensively wrestle here. Who knows? But I think it's going to be a good fight, a close fight. I think the odds are off. It should be dang near like a pick 'em. Macy Barber should maybe because like Chookagian, I know she's had some stuff happen like outside of fighting and stuff, but like her last fight was she took one round off Manon Farrow. So I'm high on Manon Farrow compared to like a lot of people. So I think Chookagian wins this fight. I think it's just like everybody else, man. I think that she keeps it standing and maybe even she can wrestle when the wrestling changes. And then she just picks her apart from range while Macy's hitting air. I think Chookagian's going to be hitting air, but a couple more punches in between. So give me Caitlin, but I'm not going to be betting at all. Yeah, they do, Nigel. They do love giving it to her for sure, giving her the win. Seminara season, yes, bro. She was literally 10 feet away punching air. That was hilarious. Yeah, Barber lost to Mata Ferrari. Yeah, don't give a F what y'all say. Yeah, she blew her ACL out, man, but it wasn't looking good before the ACL blowout though either. So there's that. But she was like 21 then. She's still young. She's only like 25. Who was I watching? I was looking at somebody the other day, and I'm like, even Ludovic Klein, like I thought that dude was way older. He's only like 28 years old. Yep. Dude looks like he's 34. Like, there's some other people too that's super young. Fave, yeah. Next fight, men's flyweight, CJ Vergara versus Asu Alambaba. Finally.
There we go. I was watching.
It was getting what I have it right after O'Malley Vera. But yeah, I'll start this one off. I think this is going to be a good fight. I think both these guys are well-rounded fighters. Alabayev, we watched him fight down in Nashville. He's got good striking. He throws some spinning kicks. He got a nice, powerful overhand right that'll throw, and then he's going to try to mix in the grappling. And he's got good grappling. He's got good takedowns. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's heavy on top. He's got good control, and he's got good submissions and good ground and pound. Vergara, man, he's well-rounded though too. He's got really good cardio. He's well-rounded. He's super tough. You seen the Lacerda fight where he got his head almost kicked off, and just a bunch of other fights where he's took some big shots against Klitzen Rodriguez. Was able to stay in there. He got submitted by Tatsuro, but he actually had a couple little moments in that fight, like where he reversed Tatsuro, almost got him in an arm triangle, and then hit him with some ground and pound and stuff before the end of the first round. But got finished in the second, caught in the arm bar. But man, Tatsuro, I think he's on a different level than a lot of these guys. But I think this fight it's going to be a good fight. I think the striking is going to be pretty good. It's in the big cage. So there's going to be a lot of room for these guys to move around. I think the striking is going to be pretty even. And then I think that Alambayev is going to land some takedowns and get some control time. But like Vergara's not really a dude to he's kind of like a Christian Rodriguez type. Like when you take him down, he doesn't really just accept being on his back for 3 minutes or 4 minutes. He's constantly moving around, trying to get up and even reverse and sweep and stuff. Super tough, super strong. I actually don't mind that. I bet the over in this fight because 5 of the last 9 fights have went over, and it's been against even lower competition. You know what I mean? Like Benicio Salvador for Vergara is going over, and then Klitzen Rodriguez, which we've seen that dude get finished. And there's one other one for Vergara too, Ode Osborne. And that dude, a lot of people finish him, or he finishes people, and they're going to the distance. And then you got Alambayev, Zach Malkowski, which people might sleep on him. He's like 38 years old, but he's actually really good, really well-rounded, and an ex-UFC fighter. But they went back and forth, and I almost thought that he won that fight, to be honest. That was a split decision. And then the fight before that, he had another pretty close fight decision. So I think both these guys are well-rounded enough, durable enough, and both have really good cardio. So I like that over 2.5. I got it at plus 105. And I see Asu getting the decision win, to be honest. I think Vergara is crafty enough to survive, So that's what I like. Johnny, how do you see it going on?
Yeah, I see the same thing. I think both guys are super well-rounded. I just think Almeida is just a little bit better everywhere. I think he's a little bit better striker. I think he's a little bit more dangerous and a little bit better grappler too. So I like Almeida to win. I think this fight does go over, go to decision too, and I think he wins a decision. The only thing maybe in the later rounds, depending on the weight cut, if Vergara slows down a bit, maybe Almeida gets like a sub in the third, but I still think it's going to go to decision. I'm sticking with that and gets it done.
I like it. Weezy, how you seeing it going down?
Yeah, this is a fun fight. And I just think the line's gotten absolutely crazy. This is a crazy line. CJ Vergara is not a bad fighter, man. I mean, he's been around for a minute. He's had already 5 UFC fights and a Contender Series fight. He's been fighting the better guys. Almabayev's fought some names on the regional scene, but a lot of those guys are, UFC washouts that are a lot older now. And Ode Osborne is, that was a great debut by Almabayev. I mean, I think he can build on that, but Vergara is an interesting opponent because he's going to pressure you, man. I mean, he's going to walk forward, and that could make it a little bit more difficult to wrestle. And I think that this fight's going to play out a lot closer than what the line is saying right now. But I get it. The recency bias is something that we have to take advantage of as gamblers. And right now, I think Almabayev's performance against Osborne is something that I think people are like, wow, this guy's, going to take that next step. And they're thinking that this is a step down because Osborne beat Vergara. But when you go and you watch that fight, I thought Vergara had a pretty good fight in there. He was pressuring Ode, walking him down. And then we think about how much bigger, Ode was than CJ in that spot. He had a problem closing the distance, but not here against a 5'4" Almabayev. This is actually going to be Vergara being the bigger guy here. So if he could stop some takedowns, man, I think he's going to look really good at his current money line price.
I agree with that. That could easily happen too. Brady, how do you see it going down?
Yeah, and Almabayev on MGM right now is minus 650 and Vergara's plus 450. Like, holy crap. But
wow.
I was kind of looking at the over 1.5 rounds. Minus 205, minus 200. I think I even saw it like minus 190, which is crazy. Like this is a flyweight fight. I think maybe an Almabayev late finish can come into play, and I know Vergara has been subbed a couple times, but his submission defense I do think is good. So yeah, that over 1.5 was something I was kind of looking at. I'm going with Almabayev though. I think he does get takedowns, does get some control. I don't think Vergara has the best takedown defense. He makes some mistakes on the mat. So yeah, should be Almabayev, but minus 650. What are you gonna do?
Exactly. And like
parlay him up. Let's go.
It's kind of, and it's hard to even play. I honestly don't think that he just comes out here and just subs Vergara very easy. I know a lot of people do, but I just don't think that like that's how it goes down. But he's definitely good. He's good. But these lines, this is that after football's over lines, man, where people are just like parlaying up big favorites, If we could figure out how to work this out right and know when it's going to happen and be like, man, because I don't know. I feel like last week we should have all known that like Basharat should have been minus 900 over Zahabi. Like, because Zahabi's like good, you know what I mean? He's just like Vergara, like he's good and he's dangerous. And then like I see this going to decision. So minus 600 going to decision's tough these days, man. Yeah. Let's see the decision. Yeah. I think going to decision is the way to go. CJ is going to get cut because he can't make weight. That's definitely a possibility. The over will cash. We all know CJ is a runner. Let's go. Carl Lewis out there, baby. Next fight, man. Men's bantamweight. Pedro Munoz versus Kyler Phillips. And Weezy, we'll let you start this one.
Yeah, I've got 2 bets on this fight, actually. I've got Kyler Phillips to win by decision, and I've got the finish only prop for Pedro Munoz. And this is just, both of them are plays on the same thing, that since they don't let you like bring a gun into the cage, they don't let you bring a 2x4 in there. I don't think you're getting Pedro Munoz out of there. You're not submitting a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion black belt. And you're not knocking out a guy that's never been dropped, much less knocked out in his UFC career. So I think that Kyler Phillips is the much younger guy. He's 9 years younger. He's 2 inches taller. He's got a 7-inch reach advantage. He's the way better athlete here. He's the way better striker, in my opinion, because he's so explosive and athletic that he doesn't have to stand in the pocket with you. He can kind of stay way out of range, explode into range with a combination, and then exit out on an angle and not get hit. 62% striking defense, 41% striking accuracy at distance for Kyler. And he's just the much younger, faster, taller, longer guy here. I think he's going to pick Pedro apart from distance and win a decision here. But if he fucks up, if he gets tired, if he gets a little bit out over his skis and he winds up in a pocket exchange with Pedro, Pedro can drop you, dude. I think Pedro's got as many knockdowns as he has takedowns in the UFC, and you do not want this guy on your neck. You do not want to be on the mat with him. So, yeah, I mean, I think that Pedro either gets a finish or Kyler gets a decision, and I'm covering both. If one of those two things happens, I'm going to make money. If Kyler knocks out or finishes Munoz, or if Munoz wins a decision, I'm going to lose money.
Yeah. Yeah, you should win. You should win. Brady, how do you see it going down?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kyler Phillips wins this fight, wins it by decision as well. A spot that I had circled this week was the plus 3.5 point spread for Munoz, which means that he can either, win by finish or steal a round. That's kind of how I see it playing out. I think early on, Phillips is going to be the much better striker, a lot quicker, more volume, just winning the minutes up until maybe the third round. We do see Phillips start to slow down in a lot of third rounds. So I'm thinking Munoz might be able to steal the third. So yeah, I like that plus 3.5. I think Munoz can win the third round. And then also I was looking to see what the plus 3.5 was, which it's minus 145. And then I saw the finish only for Munoz at plus 165, and that was kind of surprising considering Munoz never been finished, never been dropped. BJJ black belt. I think if there is a finish, it's going to come more likely from the Munoz side. So yeah, I'm with Weezy in terms of that finish only. Also looked at the plus 3.5. I think both are solid looks this week, but my pick is Kyler to win like a 29-28 decision.
Yeah. This fight, I like it too. I liked Munoz's number, but then I feel like it was kind of just begging you to bet it, like Munoz plus 180, 185, because he definitely has a chance, and he's tough and he's gritty and he's got all the experience. But it's like you guys were saying, like Kyler is definitely the more athletic fighter. He's the younger fighter. He's got the better movement. He might be able to mix in some wrestling. I don't know if he's just going to be able to hold Pedro down, because we know he's got good wrestling and he's got excellent jiu-jitsu. So, but like Kyler just darting in with his punches. The only thing, the reason really, honestly, because I ended up picking Munoz is because he's so tough, and because Kyler slows down. And like we were in Nashville watching him fight Barcelos, right? And I kind of thought Barcelos won that fight live. Like we were sitting next to his father-in-law, Kyler Phillips' father-in-law, like right next to us, just talking. And we were kind of nervous when they read it off, but like then I rewatched it back and I thought, oh, Kyler actually won round 1 and 2, dropped Barcelos and all that. So I'm with Brady though. I think Brady's bet's the best bet. Munoz, I picked Munoz. I think Munoz can win this fight because Kyler, how he moves around and stuff, and he's always heavy on his lead leg, like bouncing in and out. And Pedro's got them killer leg kicks, man. I think that could be a real problem in this fight. And but worst comes to worst, Brady's bet's awesome because Pedro's at least winning 1 round. If he don't win the first, he's probably going to win the third, because Kyler comes out very heavy in the first and fast and athletic, and he's most likely going to win that. But then after that, Pedro could easily win one of them fights. And as soon as Kyler Phillips, who has a style a lot like Michel, starts slowing down in the third round, he's in the pocket, he starts getting hit. And I don't know if he likes getting hit that much, but Kyler Phillips is a good fighter. So we'll have to see. I know that there's a bunch of stuff about the PEDs and that, but he's really tough, really durable. If he could just get his cardio all the way up to par, man. But with that style, it doesn't even, you can like work on your cardio all you want. But when you just constantly moving like that on your bike and doing all that, you're going to get tired, Michelle. You're going to get tired, Michelle. So that's how that's going to go. But I'm taking Pedro Munoz as a dog, but I didn't bet him. So very tough fight to call. Despain a lock. I don't know if you could say that. I like the under a lot. Phillips has Marcus McGee in his corner. Yeah, and Phillips been training with Sean O'Malley this whole camp. You know what I mean? Training for a championship camp, so that should help him too with his cardio and different stuff. And then O'Malley's already kind of fought Pedro a little bit, so seeing Ngannou getting folded by AJ got me real sad. Give me a parlay, Brady, to cheer me up. Oh man, happy about it. Karma for Stipe, yeah. Menace lost to decision to Marlon Vera, which was close. No, who was it? Oh, Munoz. Yeah, that was very close. But he started kind of slowing down, and Vera took over with that jab, dude. Busted his face.
I thought he won.
It was close. So when I watched it live, I kind of thought Pedro won, but when I watched it back, I'm like, no, Vera took over at the perfect time in the second round and then won the third, in my opinion. Yeah. Macy, what up, Flavio? Macy is a lock. Oh, okay. Yo. He cost me, dude, Pedro Munoz, he probably cost me like $15,000 when he beat Cody Garbrandt on a DraftKings, because I was in like all these big tournaments. And on that one, dude, that was the card that John Jones beat Anthony Smith, but it was also the card that Tyron Woodley defended his title against Kamaru Usman, and Kamaru Usman was like 7,100, and he beat the crap out of him. Then I think there was another one too. I had Diego Sanchez beat Mickey Gall. I had these like big low underdogs, and then the only loss I had was the big favorite Cody Garbrandt. Remember when he went nuts and then ends up? But I still won like $900. But yeah, not that I think about it at all ever, you know.
No.
Yeah, Almeida should be favored. Next fight, dude. This fight's going to be so good. I'm looking forward to this men's welterweight division. Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page. MVP comes to the UFC. And I know Brady's got an excellent breakdown on this. Let me hear it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight as a fan. You know, their whole build-up's kind of been funny. These guys have been kind of going after each other at the weigh-ins. They were like holding hands, and Michael Venom Page was talking about how they're going to have the first in-cage podcast, which means they're going to be talking back and forth the whole time. So I think as a fan, this fight's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm not sure how I'm going to attack this fight or if I'm going to at all. I think I might just sit back and watch this fight like I tend to do with most Kevin Holland fights, just because I can't really trust this guy. This guy, he's one of those guys where if you bet on Kevin Holland, a lot of times you're going to be ending up with like a hole in your wall or like a smashed TV, because he just makes some boneheaded mistakes a lot of times. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing's really sticking out here. I thought maybe like the fight goes to decision, but both these guys are super dangerous, although they're durable. I don't know. I think this one could potentially be close, could potentially go either way. So it's one I'm staying away from, but as a fan, I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, definitely. Weezy, how you see it going down?
So I don't really have a strong take on who's going to win this fight. And when I was looking at, you know, I know that Kevin Holland's very durable, and Page has been finished once. He's been knocked out. That if you watch that knockout, it was kind of happened in a scramble. You know, I think anybody would have got knocked out in that situation. But you see where the prices are for these overs here, and it's a little bit ridiculous, man. I mean, I'm showing, you know, fight goes to decision at -145, over 2.5 at -165, the over 1.5 -420. Really? For Kevin Holland and Michael Page? I mean, Michael Page has finished 13 of his 20 fights that were 3-round fights have finished in round 1. 13 of 20. And they're giving you +450 for the fight doesn't start round 2. I think that going the other way here, because the books are really overpricing the overs here, but both of these guys hit extremely hard. Holland can lock up a submission. Page can knock out anybody. I don't care how durable you are. If that dude catches you right, he's so explosive and athletic that he can knock out anybody. So I think one way to look at this is to look at some unders to get some good prices and root for violence here. But then the other thing is the significant strike props. You guys, they got Holland at like 63 significant strikes. I think you can give him 10 rounds. He's not landing that many significant strikes against Michael Page. If you watch Michael Venom Page fight, his fights are extremely low volume. Nobody goes after Page because Page is a counter striker. So right now on Prize Picks, you can get the under Kevin Holland on significant strikes at about 62.5. on Bet Online, I think, or on I know on Bet Rivers, it's about 62 significant strikes. Bet the under for total strikes for the fight. For Michael Page is at 58.5. Holland's at 62.5. The Page fights are extremely low volume, so I like the unders for significant strikes, and I like the unders for the fight doesn't start round 2, fight doesn't start round 3. Under 1.5 are all really good looks according to the data and the histories of these fighters.
Yeah, I was shocked at that line too, to be honest. Like, it was like the over 2.5 was like minus 200 at one point earlier this week.
Yeah,
dude, they're literally juicing the overs like they're juicing the regular fighters. Like it's like the bookies are making you pay for any favorite that you want, basically. And then even the over unders are all like minus 350, like Jan and Song minus 350, which really back in the day that would have been like minus 200. I get it, but both, I mean, I guess Song could more finish, but like Gamrot and them just minus 350 to go overs. And I mean, I think it goes over, but like I feel like these are crazy lines for what would have been going on, you know, just even a couple months, like a month ago, 2 months ago.
Several times. SK
choked
he's been
out.
Submitted.
Yeah,
he's been
Brandon
submitted
Allen
several times, and he quit in the 4th round of that Holland or the Wonder Boy fight. Now it's round 4. We only got 3 rounds here, but he quit. He quit. He broke his hand. He was telling everybody after the 3rd round, I broke my hand. He's talking to people cage side.
Right.
You know, I broke my hand. He's letting everybody know. And then he quit after the 4th round. Look, the doctor didn't stop that fight. Kevin Holland walked back to his corner, taking off his own glove.
Yeah. Johnny, how do you see it going down?
I think this is going to be a boring fight, guys. It's going to be a super low volume fight. And I don't trust either guy because I think the podcast comment is probably going to be true. I see a lot of yapping, and everyone's going to be so like pumped up for this fight. And then you like 3 minutes in, you're going to be like, this is boring as shit. So I'm staying away, but I am picking Page to win. I just don't trust Holland anymore. I can't. Like I just think like he's way better than what he puts out there in the octagon. And sometimes I feel like he either quits or he like plays with his food a little bit, or he just wants to talk and he just doesn't give 100%. And I can't back that. I think Page will give 100% whether he wins or loses. So I'm going to roll with him. I have no bets on this fight because I don't trust it at all.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Holland like talks and stuff in there, but I think kind of his fight IQ is a little bit blown out of proportion. Like, yeah, he let Stephen Thompson up. That was the stupidest thing ever. But in his other fights, like when he was talking, like I just think that he was talking against like Vettori and Brunson because he couldn't stop the takedown even if he wasn't talking shit. You know what I mean? That was still going to happen. I'm with Weezy where he quit with the broken hand because he fought 4 months later and knocked Ponzinibbio out with it. So it's like, how the fuck do you break your hand, heal it, then get back to training and get in a fight? But dude, like, I don't know. I'm not that high on Michael Venom Page. I know he's got the good striking. He's got powerful leg kicks. He's explosive. But like when I watched his fight with Douglas Lima, I like by the second round, and Douglas Lima wasn't even throwing no punches in the first fight or the second fight. But in the second fight, he almost knocked his head off again with the same exact move when he kicked his leg and like came like that close to hitting him with the same exact punch. But I felt like by the second round, Michael Venom Page lost his explosiveness. Like it didn't even look like his punches and his kicks were coming as fast, and he didn't even barely throw that much stuff in the first round. I believe that Kevin Holland obviously has a huge grappling advantage, and I don't think that in this fight, if Michael Venom Page throws a kick, and Kevin Holland, if he slips or Kevin Holland catches it and takes him down, he's going to let him up. I think you learn from that ass whooping that Wonder Boy threw on you. He literally looked like Chris Tucker in Rush Hour. He's just like getting kicked in the face on the side of the fence, man. He's like, which one of y'all kicked me? Because he was getting, I mean, that was, but I also think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's a lot better than Michael Venom Page too in striking. Like Michael Venom Page has been crushing cans in any fight that he's ever had that got outside the first round, got real, like just wild, like not looking good for him. Ross Houston, Paul Daly, Douglas Lima, like any of his fights when he wasn't just beaten lower level. Because like I get it. He was one of the big faces of Bellator for like 8 years, and they used him to sell tickets. So why would you want him to get beat? And every time he stepped up to like a decent level of competition, he got beat. Like Douglas Lima beat him. Logan Storley, who I firmly believe Kevin Holland at 170 would Darce choke him. he would at some point either hit him with a big shot. Like at 185, he was getting kind of muscled by Brunson and them, but not many people is just going to one-shot Brunson and guillotine him. But I like Holland here. I honestly think that he's either going to catch Michael Venom Page coming in because he's actually got longer reach than Michael Venom Page. Michael Venom Page ain't used to fighting people bigger than him. Like they're the same height, but Holland's got 2 inches of reach. Holland has KO power in both hands, like serious lights out power. And I think he's going to throw a 3-4 punch combination, dude, and hit Page with one of them, hit him with a big left hook or something, and drop him, man, at some point in this fight. And I think that because Kevin Holland ain't playing really too friendly with him, you know what I mean? It's not like him and Wonder Boy Thompson and stuff. So I like Kevin Holland here. I bet him at -130, and I think he gets it done. I think he's a lot better. I think that I just don't like Venom Page's style. I don't. Anytime he's got out of the first round, it's been real tough for him. So give me Venom. Give me the more proven guy, Kevin Holland, like a real top 10 middleweight. You know, top 10, top 12. Like I don't see Michael Venom Page coming and just making some big run at 37 years old with only a freaking karate. Like I've seen Paul Daly take him down and hold him down for a lot of that fight. Like I thought Paul Daly kind of won that fight. So, but Matt, Holland finish only. Holland self-sabotage. That's only, but like if you watch him against like Tim Means and all these, pretty much every time at 170, he's been legit. Even with Jack Della, he didn't mess around or nothing. Only the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But since he's been at 170, he's been pretty smart other than the Thompson fight. Who's most likely to get robbed via decision? Who knows? Who's the hometown people? They're the ones getting robbed these days. So whoever fucking is from Miami, they'll probably get robbed.
Robelis Despain is going to get robbed. He's the Cuban in Miami. There's a Josh Parisian by decision. You heard it here first.
Josh Parisian by TKO or DQ because he gets punched out in the back of the head. And the ref fucking calls it, just like Jacob Malkoum. That's what I'm calling. I seen that dude hit a bunch. MVP is more sizzled than steak. That's a fact. MVP has shit defense. Yeah, he's got the karate style. Yeah, I like that, Weezy. That under 63 because these dudes aren't going to be sitting there throwing a boxing match like going nuts. They're going to be throwing individual power shots. Next fight, men's bantamweight division: Piotr Yan versus Yadong Song. And I will let you, Uncle Weezy, start this off.
Yeah, these guys are really well matched. And, you know, I think before the first loss from Yan to Sterling, he was pretty much the consensus guy that everyone was like, this is the toughest bantamweight on planet Earth. And then he illegally knees Yan, and his career falls apart like a Chinese motorcycle. He loses the next fight. And then he gets Sandhagen, and he wins a very, very, very close fight against Sandhagen. Loses the O'Malley fight by a very close split decision. And then just a lukewarm performance, obviously. I mean, it was Marab. What are you going to do? We can forgive him for that one because it's not like this matchup. But it's a 3-round fight. And Peter Yan starts a little bit slow, man. And Song just looks like he's on fire lately. But I'm picking Yan. I think Yan wins it by decision. Both of these guys are very durable. It's one of the better over 2.5s of the week, I think. I know that is it you, Cody, that's got the over 2.5 in this fight, the over 2.5 in the Gamrot fight?
No, I got the fight goes to decision in the Gamrot fight, and then I got the over 3.5 in Marlon Vera fight.
Okay.
But I love this one going over or to decision. I do. I told somebody about that though. Yeah, I do like that. This one over.
Durable. They're both so durable, and I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of grappling here. And they're both, powerful. They're both clean. I think it's going to be a really close fight, and it's going to be the judges that decide it. So I think all of that is kind of terrifying. Maybe you parlay up the over 2.5 or something like that here, but frankly, you're really paying up for it. When I look at the analytics and I look at my prop template, they're charging big money for two guys that are murderous power punchers in Peter Yan and Song Yadong. So it's a big stay away for me. The pick's Yan by decision, but I'm not finding a lot of value. And like I said earlier in the show, 14 fights. So oftentimes you got to kind of pick those 3 or 4 fights that right off the bat where you're like, I don't have a strong read on this. Let me pass on these and let me dig deeper into the ones where I've got a little bit of a read that's a little bit different than what the bookies have right now.
Right. Yep. Johnny, how you see it going down?
Yeah, this is a close fight. Both guys, they're so good, and my gut tells me Song is gonna win a decision. I think this fight definitely goes over 2.5. It goes to decision, and like Weezy said, it just depends on what the judges think. I just think Song can land the harder punches, but maybe Jan's a little bit more technical, and then maybe Song can maybe mix in some wrestling here and there too. So it's really a lot to think about. I get the line. Totally cool with it, but I'm staying away from picking us or betting aside. My pick will be Song by decision, but it's just literally a gut feeling. He's got the momentum on his side right here too. And not to say that Jan's bad. I think he's very good, but I mean, I'm just going to go with the momentum, the younger guy that can hit a little bit harder, I think. So give me Song.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Brady, it looks like you're a tiebreaker here. How do you see this going on?
Yeah, I feel like the judges are going to be involved in this fight and a lot of fights tomorrow, which is very, very terrifying. And yeah, this is a close fight. I think the line is about accurate. I think it could even be closer. I see Petr Yan's now -130. Initially, I thought it could be a good buy low spot on Yan, and maybe it is a good buy low spot on Yan. But I just think this fight's going to be very close. If this fight was 5 rounds, I think I'd be more inclined to maybe bet Yan here. But the fact that it is 3, the fact that Yan does take a while to get going, like if he drops the first round, he's already down a round in a 3-round fight. I don't really want to get involved there. I might look to like live bet Petr Yan if he does drop that first round, maybe get him at plus money. Maybe he can win those last 2, but I think it's a close fight regardless. But I'm gonna slightly lean Petr Yan to edge out a very close, probably split decision type fight.
Dude, you guys broke it down perfect, man. That's how I see it. I don't see any grappling going on here. Both guys can grapple, but that's the problem is I don't see either one being able to hold each other down. Maybe somebody can land a takedown, if they time it right and a surprise, but I don't see either one holding each other down. This is going to be a striking match, and I favor Yan because he has so many more tools. He's going to be using a lot more kicks. He's going to be using the biggest thing I want to see in this fight is who goes forward. Because Petr Yan does not stop going forward, and he's willing to take shots just to walk you down, put that pressure on you, and that'll wear you out. But Song Yadong is the same way. But the thing that made me pick Petr Yan is like Song Yadong against Corey Sandhagen was doing great coming forward, doing great. But when Sandhagen kind of figured out Song Yadong's game, because he's kind of meat and potatoes, you know what I mean? He's throwing power punches and then a couple kicks, but he's not going to be just throwing a ton of leg kicks and just mixing his game up like crazy. He's trying to hit you with fast power punches, has some good elbows and stuff. But I'm going to take Yan in this fight because I do think that he's the more well-rounded fighter. He's still young, he's still good. But I couldn't bet it, man, just because, like you guys said, he takes that first round off a lot of the times. In a 3-round fight, you got to come back and win them 2 rounds for sure. And I know another person, I can't remember who too, said that Song starts really slow too. But another thing that worries me, like I said, I'm taking Petr Yan by decision. Another thing that worries me is just a Song landing the harder shots. Like that's the biggest problem with Petr Yan is he's so fucking good, but he's not dangerous. He's not finishing nobody. So all his fights are pretty close. And then when you're kind of giving away the first round a lot, and then you're not really, he doesn't really hurt people too much. Like the biggest punch I can remember him landing was on Sean O'Malley. That kind of hurt him. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like other than that, he kicked Uriah Faber in the head. Beat Jose Aldo up just because he gassed out and he took him down and beat him up and finished him. But like other than that, he's not one punching guys. He ain't head kicking guys out. So that's kind of his problem is he's not that dangerous. So I'm still going to take Yan, but like you guys said, this got like split decision wrote all over it. And I could see Song winning just from landing the bigger shots. Maybe he wobbles Yan once or drops him, and then Yan lands more shots. But yeah, man. And then that freaking Marab fight was, man, he beat the shit out of him. Like you see after the fight when Marab, like they're announcing it and he goes to shake Jan's hand. Jan's like, don't hit me no more. Like there's a reel that showed don't shoot. Yeah, dude. He was like, he got traumatized a little bit, but he looks like he's got it back. So we'll see. But dude, we got 702 people watching live, man. Can everybody smash that like button? Is this a great show? With like I said, you got 4 of the best cappers. Everybody on here has been doing this for a long time. Everybody on here stand up guys. Nobody on here has to bring other people down to make the product better. So that's why I appreciate these guys, man. If your product's good, you ain't got to put other people down for people to like it,
That's
so
right.
I think Jan is being disrespected. He spelled it Jan. Once Peter Jan gets his read on Song, he can be a killer, but also Song is improved fighter. Yeah, man, and he's good. He's fast. He looked a little bigger than Piotr, but not too much. Hard fight to pick, honestly. One edge, Jan might just win more moments, but Song is a beast. Exactly. It's tough. I wanted to bet this. I wanted to bet Jan. Like, it was weird too. I did my tape study and I did Yadong Song's tape study at first. And I'm like, I think I like Jan Song. And then I did Jan's and I'm like, dude, he's just got more to it, but dangerous. Jan's 5-round fighter. Yep. Gemstone. The Royal Gemstones. Yeah, but when Song hits people, yeah, they don't move. All right. Next fight. This one's definitely going to be amazing. Men's welterweight. Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena. Johnny, I know you got a good read on this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Jack Della here. I just favor the striker more so than the grappler, but I'm worried for him if he gets taken down. We've seen him make some guillotine bad decisions in his last couple of fights ago against what was his name, Hafez. The craziest thing ever. I never would have thought he would do that multiple times, but I mean, he's got power in his hands. He's got amazing boxing and he's durable as hell, but he can be taken down and he can be controlled, and he makes questionable decisions when he's on his back. And Burns is a veteran. I mean, he's older. He's getting up there. He's super well-rounded. Very good grappling, good submissions too, good cardio, and he's also durable. So, I'm gonna pick Jack Della. I think he gets it done. I'm gonna go a little bit against the grain. I think this goes to decision, and maybe he drops Burns, but I just don't think he's gonna get Burns out of there. And I think it's gonna win a 29-28 decision. He will get taken down maybe once in the first round. And then we'll see where this fight goes. Like, it's just a crazy fight for me to try to predict, so I'm going to stay away. But I think Jack gets it done. It's going to be a decision, like I said, and I think it's going to be like 29-28.
Okay. You see it going to decision. Okay. All right. Weezy, how do you see it going down?
Yeah, this is a great fight. And you know, what the theme of this card is the old established veteran against the young up and coming star. I mean, it's basically every fight, almost every fight, really, with Benoit Saint Denis versus Poirier. You know, this one here, basically the whole card. So this is going to be one of those ones where is the old lion got one more big win in them, and I think it's Jack here. I think it's Jack. You know, Gilbert's a predictable guy, and if this thing stays standing, Jack's going to clean him up. I don't think there's really much debate about that. But Jack knows what Gilbert's going to do. You know, he's not going to be pulling guillotine against Gilbert Burns. You know, so I think that he'll have. Yeah, and you know, that's the thing too. Like Burns is not like this lockdown wrestler, you guys. I mean, if he was, he'd probably be champion. You know, but he's not. He's not this guy that's got phenomenal wrestling and then blends the jiu-jitsu in behind it. He gets to use it when he's fighting guys that can't stop takedowns. But outside of that, he's usually forced to strike because he's not a guy that can go out there and shoot 20 takedowns in 15 minutes. He's not a guy who's going to chain 5 takedown attempts together. He's going to try to time it and get it. And if he doesn't, he's going to get frustrated. And in addition to that, what do you think Jack Della is working for this camp? His boxing's already better. He's already the younger guy, the taller guy, the longer guy, the faster guy, the guy with a lot more momentum in his career right now. So, yeah, I think that this one is going to be Jack Della. I think he's going to win this fight. He might get the finish, but I think it could also go to decision. But I'm leaning the Jack Della side here.
Nice. Brady, how you see it going down?
Yeah, same thing. I'm liking Jack Della here. He's 10 years younger. You know, Burns coming off an injury, a little bit of a layoff as well. Yeah, Johnny mentioned there is a concern. Like if this fight hits the mat, like and you have a Jack Della ticket, you're gonna be holding your breath. Like this guy loves to put himself into bad spots, but to his credit, he's getting out of those bad spots every single time. And yeah, he's not jumping guillotine against Gilbert Burns. If he does, like something's seriously wrong. I don't think he's doing it though. So yeah, I think he's gonna either stuff the takedowns here, keep it on the feet. If he gets taken down, work his way back up, and then on the feet. I mean, Jack's striking is incredible. Great volume, the precision, the power, the way he mixed it up to the body. I think he really hurts Burns here. So yeah, I like Jack as well. Kind of surprised. Like I see a lot of people on Burns, but this money line's -170 now. So Money line's getting a little bit wide. I'm actually going to take Jack Della by knockout. I don't know when it happens. It can come early, it can come late, but I don't trust the durability of Burns, especially now at 37. So I might be looking at the Jack knockout prop. It's not great, but I think it hits plus 165.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually, I really love the under here, under 2.5, because I think it's not fully striker versus grappler because like Gilbert Burns has striking too. But I think if this is on the feet, dude, Jack Della's finishing Gilbert Burns. Like he fucking hits hard. Like when you go back and watch that fight, like I don't know how that Basil Hafez dude was taking all the shots that he was taking. Dude. I mean,
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, and if you go something, because if you go watch it, like Jack clearly won that fight. Like he got taken down. He got put in the arm triangle at the end of the first round. And I went into this fight, went to bet Jack Della. He was still minus 120. I seen him at plus 100, did the tape study, man. And like, I like him to get the knockout, but I just can't bet him because you go back and watch him. I posted a thing on Twitter about when he fought Anjos and he got put in Anjos. He got put in the arm triangle and he like was in it deep. Then he got versus Basil Hafez at the end of the first round. He literally gets put in an arm triangle. And if the round don't end, he might get put out. And then I put up the video of Gilbert Burns putting Neil Magny in the arm triangle, and his arm triangle's tight. Like he's Gilbert Burns. He's world champion at stuff. So if he gets him in it, it's going to be tough, dude. And Jack Della literally puts himself in it. Ramazan Ameev put him in a Darce choke. Like there's been a lot of stuff. So I think I'm taking Jack Della by KO. I wanted to bet him. I didn't end up getting around to bet him because, like I said, I see a clear path to victory for Gilbert. But I think that if this goes to the ground, Gilbert has a chance to submit him because I don't think Jack Della's jiu-jitsu is that good. If it was that good, you wouldn't even put yourself in them positions that much, even though he's getting out, which is good, but you shouldn't be in that deep. And if you get in that deep against the wrong people like Shavkat or Burns or something, dude, it's over. They're squeezing you till you go to sleep. So I'm going to take Jack Della by KO, but I like the under 2.5. I didn't bet anything on this, but I do like the under 2.5. I think Jack Della finishes him on the feet, and I think that Burns has a chance to finish him on the ground. And I think that if Burns takes him down, uses a lot of energy, and tries to finish him, even in the first round when he gets up with 1 minute left, Jack Della goes nuts, dude, and he starts taking off. And I don't think Burns, like we've seen Burns get dropped and finished by jabs from Kamaru, and that's what fucking Jack Della does, dude. He's switching stances, just hitting you with jabs from both hands, dude, and you cannot get away from it. And then he throws like 12 punch combinations, rips the body. Like we've seen Gilbert get dropped by a jab from Hamzat. Like I see Jack Della finishing this on the feet. So that's what I'm going with. But like I said, the arm triangle scared me off. And then, yeah, he really didn't even give up that many takedowns to Basil Hafez. It was just, he stopped like 17 or 18 takedowns. He just kept pulling guillotine, dude. And then he paid for it. His get up game didn't look that good. It looked like he got a little tired in that fight. So that Jack KO Burns sub, really. Yeah. Gilbert loves to walk into jabs. One of JM's exactly. He builds on. Yeah. JDM's boxing, man. He's like he's up there with like a Taporia and that, man. Them type of dudes. Yeah, like the video, guys. Everybody smash that like button. 705 people in here. Let's go. Is Jack's best win Randy Brown?
No, it's Holland.
Kevin Holland for sure.
Yeah.
It's Danny Roberts.
Damn,
that was a great win.
Maybe Anjos. Anjos is better than a lot of them dudes.
Luz is actually really good.
Yeah, he's a good fighter.
He's gonna get beat by Brian Battle, but I didn't say that. Possible upsets on the prelims. We're too far to go back. We come too far, but Felipe Linds. That's who we all like. Linds, right?
Munoz, maybe.
And
Caitlin Chookagian, maybe.
Dude, I don't mind CJ Vergara for a very small.
I was gonna say Vergara, maybe.
And even a fat Parisian round 2, fat Parisian round 3. Maybe he lands a spinning fat kick. It's happened before, you guys. It's a strange sport. So, there's some good spots. I mean, like take small, very small. We're not betting Parisian round 2, round 3 big at all.
Not round 1 KO. Not round 1, 2 or 3. Little spring.
Yeah, exactly.
Dudes. Men's lightweight division. Dustin Poirier, Benoit Saint Denis. Special guest, the GOAT, DFS by the numbers, Brady. Let us know how you feel about this fight. Poirier versus BSD, dude.
Man, I think this is like the people's main event. Like this is the fight I'm most looking forward to.
100. Yeah.
And it's crazy. I mean, you see Dustin Poirier there at like plus 175, plus 180. It's wild, but I kind of just feel like Benoit Saint Denis running into Poirier at the right time here. I feel like they're at two different trajectories in their careers. Dustin Poirier, he's only 35, but he's just taken so much damage. Like the amount of war, like this guy, every time he fights, he's in a total all-out war and all-out brawl. He's been fighting for forever. I think he got into the UFC like 2012 or something. So yeah, he's taken a ton of damage throughout his career. Benoit Saint Denis, this guy's going to be 7 years younger. I think at this point he's the more durable guy. I think he has more ways to win this fight. I think he can win by knockout or submission. I think he can get the grappling going as well. So yeah, I like Saint Denis. I just kind of hate the line, to be honest. Like, you know, Benoit Saint Denis minus 205. I feel like it's a little bit disrespectful to Dustin Poirier. What I like here, and I haven't bet anything yet, and Cody, I saw you parlayed up the under 3.5, and I like that a lot. I was looking at doing something along those lines, like the under 3.5 around minus 215. I was even looking at like the fight won't start round 4. You know, Dustin Poirier has 12 5-round fights in the last 10 years. 9 of those 12 finished before rounds 4 starts. So fight won't start round 4, which I think is like minus 155, minus 160. I might just hammer that or something. But yeah, I like violence here. In terms of picking a side, it's Benoit Saint Denis, but I'm not as confident as this line does indicate. I think somebody's getting served though, whether it's a Poirier knockout or whether it's a Saint Denis, could be knockout or submission. So give me violence. I haven't bet anything yet, but I will be betting violence some way or another.
Yes, there will be violence. Weezy, how you see this one going down, brother?
Yeah, so I think my biggest bet of the week this week is a 2-unit parlay, and it's the under 3.5 rounds here, parlayed with Jailton Almeida's money line, because I had bet Almeida's money line earlier in the week. I did 1 unit at plus 105, and I did it there just saying, because it was moving so much, I was like, all right, I want to add on, but I kind of want to see where this line goes. And then it did start to swing a little bit into Almeida's favor. And then I was thinking to myself, Brady DM'd me on Discord, and he's like, dude, because we were talking about the unders, and we saw the under 3.5 rounds was about plus 250. He goes, dude, it's plus 205 on DraftKings. And I'm like, what? For a Benoit Saint Denis fight, where the only time he's ever went 15 minutes was one where we actually thought the young man died in the cage there in the second round. So it's like, look, man, this is a great violence spot, and I got to take those odds on Jailton and push them from minus 110 to plus 184 when I parlayed it with the under 3.5 rounds for Benoit Saint Denis versus Poirier. So I'm trying to win like almost 4 units on a 2-unit bet there at plus 184. Yeah, this is such a great fight. I mean, this is some of the fantastic matchmaking that you were talking about, Cody. This is it. I mean, this is what you dream about as a matchmaker, making a fight like this happen. You got the 35-year-old against the 28-year-old, the young up-and-coming star who's just absolutely on fire right now, versus a guy that he probably shouldn't even be fighting yet in Poirier. Exactly. I mean, like, he's not quite there yet, but we know that Poirier is just, this sport is so cruel. It's so cruel. I mean, we just saw Caitlin Sermonara talk about coming back to fighting because, she's had so many miscarriages. And I mean, like, you hear shit like that. That's heartbreaking. Yeah. But this is a very difficult sport. And Dustin Poirier has, left blood in the cage on a number of different occasions, not just his own, but the blood of his opponents as well. And yeah, I think Benoit has got an indomitable will. He might have more heart than Dustin Poirier. He might be more durable than Dustin Poirier. I mean, this is such an incredible fight, and I'm going to be a Benoit Saint Denis fan until he retires. Yep. I love fighters like Benoit Saint Denis. This guy is all offense and no defense. He has no concern for his own safety. Like most people that go up in a plane and then jump out of it for a living, paratroopers, which is what he is. I mean, how the hell do you have any concern for your own safety if you're fucking skydiving? I'm afraid of heights. I don't like looking down from the second floor of a house. I'll be like, whoa, get me away from the window. This dude's jumping out of a goddamn plane, So, yeah, I mean, like everything that he does offensive output-wise, distance striking output, clinch and ground striking output, takedown attempts, control time, fighting tough dudes and then just doing it all at a way above average pace than the whole division. I think it's a style that very few people can last for a long time against. And I think Benoit is going to get it done. I like a second or a third round submission here. And I love the under 3.5 rounds at -215 right now on DraftKings.
Music to my ears. Johnny, how you see it going down?
Yeah, I'm with everybody here so far with Saint Denis winning this one. He's just on the Mount Rushmore of junkyard dogs. Like, this guy does not care about getting hit. He's going to push forward. He's got power in his hands. He can grapple. He can get takedowns. Pantoja and like Charles Oliveira are like the top 3 guys that just come forward. They don't care if they get hit, and they're gonna finish you. Like, they want to finish you, and they're going to. But I just think Benoit is actually maybe the front runner because he can finish you any way possible, and he's super durable to do it. So I can't pick against him, even though Poirier is a junkyard dog himself. He's got good boxing. He can catch him. If this fight goes longer, it's only going to favor him. But I don't think it gets that far. I think the under 3.5 is fantastic bets. I do favor the round 2 or 3 sub for Benoit. I think he gets this fight to the mat and he works his grappling and kind of like the Oliveira Poirier fight. I think eventually he'll get the submission like in the 3rd round.
I like it. I would feel robbed as an MMA fan. I'll be very disappointed if I don't ever get to see Benoit Saint Denis versus Charles Oliveira. Like, how fuck?
I'm gonna cry.
Bananas.
That was such a great fight.
I'm gonna cry.
Who goes backwards there? Who goes backwards in that fight? Like,
no, they're gonna hit like this.
Bro, that would be the greatest fight because, like you said, there's no fighters that Benoit Saint Denis. Like I said, of current fighters, I like Marose style just because, like, what he did to Piotr Jan, dude. That pace, the mixing in the grappling, the striking's catching up, and just how his cardio is the craziest thing. But then you watch tape on Benoit, and you're like, Jesus Christ, like he's Marab except a serial killer version of him. Of just like try to kill you every second.
Killer.
Yeah. Like, just killer in no regard for himself, like you said.
Yeah,
but you got to make you scared because, like, I've seen Thiago Moises land clean on him, you know, and if Poirier lands clean, shoot, man, it could be tough. But dude, after watching it, it's like I gotta go with Benoit Saint Denis, and it's because of the grappling. Because, like, if you watch Poirier's fights, man, like, that's what gets him. Charles Oliveira used it. He beat the shit out of Oliveira in the 1st round. Oliveira started grappling him in the 2nd round, controlled him the whole round, and by the 3rd, he was so tired. Oliveira came out in the 3rd, started grappling him, and choked him out. Same thing against Khabib. He did almost hit him with the guillotine. He's the closest I've seen anybody finish Khabib. He had him in a tight guillotine, so he is a good black belt. Like, he's a high-level black belt. And then even Chandler, like, they come out in the 1st round. Chandler hurts him. He hurts Chandler back right before the end of the round. They come out in the 2nd round. Chandler grapples him, and he couldn't get off his back the whole 2nd round and almost got finished. Like, he was getting punched in the face, then punched in the back of the head. And he's looking at the ref like, I'm getting punched in the head, but he's still getting punched in the face. And then in the 3rd round, he was coming out, and he was about to lose. You know what I mean? He was like, Chandler picks him up, and if he lands that takedown, there's no doubt in my mind Poirier didn't get up. He wasn't going to get up because he was tired. Luckily, Chandler tries to slam him too hard. Poirier spins around, takes his back, and ends up choking him out a little bit later. But yeah, man, I think that's his kryptonite. And then Benoit being so much bigger, I think he's going to take some big punches from Poirier, but he's just going to keep pushing the issue. And by that 2nd round, and like Benoit, man, once he gets on your back, you've seen with like Bonfim, dude, like, it doesn't matter. Like, he's literally just constricts you, puts in the rear naked and just squeeze. Like, the dude's a killer. But we haven't seen his cardio. So you know what I mean? We don't know that if Poirier survives 2 rounds and then starts taking over or just lands a big shot early on. But I'm going with Saint Denis. I want to see him win. I love Poirier. He's one of my favorite fighters and just his whole style, and he's a dog. But, you know, I think we've seen this kind of play out where the grappling gets him, the bigger dudes, the pace, and then he ends up getting choked out. So I'm going to take Saint Denis by a rear naked choke at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, MMA Jesus said Dustin's never lost twice in a row. So don't see it happening tomorrow. Okay. Tony Ferguson has never – I didn't even see that. Never lost 8 times in a row. No way it's going to happen. Touche. Touche. The Will Blood. The chat's always hilarious. The Will Blood, this card is it's freaking amazing. We're not even the main event yet. I had Blades, no trust in the IQ. Smash the like. This panel is off the charts. My favorite panel.
Let's go.
I don't like to pick favorites, but Snare is definition of a finisher going for the kill. SK, is there really no belief that BSD will gas if he goes past round 2? It's a possibility. BSD is actually, he looked gassed for 1 second.
I would say if it gets past round 3, maybe.
And Thiago Moises actually in the second round, like took Benoit Saint Denis down. It looked like he was going to stop for 1 second, and then he just fucking gets right back up and starts beating him up. It was pretty weird, actually. Let's see. BSD has actually kicked. I don't know. Killed.
Killed. Yeah.
Has he the French really out there killing people though?
Special forces. I'm sure he killed someone, and you don't even know.
Kill a lot of people in Africa, man. They got a lot of colonies out there in Africa. Let's just put it that way.
Oh yeah. I believe he's only 29 and getting better. I think he's like 27, 28, and he's only been fighting MMA for 5 years or 5.5 years. Yeah. That's crazy. Sorry, 345 prop. Yep, 28 just turned it too. Nobody has won a fight after getting finished by Gaethje. True that.
Ooh.
Yo, 4 legends, Cody Dank in the building. What's up, man? Everybody check him out on Twitter, Cody Dank, and then on YouTube too, man. He puts out excellent information, always supporting and being cool, and I like listening to this stuff. It's good. How many times have we seen a talented 35-year-old get flatlined after years of wars, recover well? Right?
Yeah.
The Gaethje head kick. I mean, that's you got to think about that. I know it's 7 months ago, but 35.
Right. Yo,
tons of wars.
Main event, boys. Men's bantamweight 135. Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera to the rematch. Uncle Weezy, we're gonna give you the honors of breaking down the main event first.
Appreciate it. Wow, did Marlon look like trash on the scales today? Oh man, did he look like death warmed over? So I don't like that. There's already the rumors of, did he have a bad camp? I also believe kind of that the UFC is invested in Sean O'Malley being champion. I think it's a lot better for the organization if he is. So, I don't know if we're going to see the best version of Marlon Vera here. My pick is O'Malley by decision. I did bet the Marlon Vera finish only prop because I feel like even if he looks like trash on the scales, the one thing that he's proven over and over and over again is that A, he finishes fights, and B, he's maybe the most durable guy in the entire UFC in any weight class. I mean, this guy, his durability is so next level. Like, he can get punched clean. And, most people, when they get punched clean and they're durable, they're going to bruise. Not Marlon Vera. I mean, like that after every fight, he looked like he was just waiting in line at the DMV for 25 minutes. He's got no marks on his face anywhere. The guy doesn't bruise. He doesn't get knocked down. You hit him with something clean and he just keeps looking at you. So he's going to have 25 minutes to find that big shot. And he can find that big shot in a lot of different ways, you guys. We've all seen it, right? It could be a head kick. It could be a step-in knee. It could be a jump knee. It could be a jab that sets up a big right hand or a big left hand behind it. It could be a spinning elbow. Marlon waits to find that opening, and it's not a bad style for him because he is so durable and because he has such excellent conditioning. Those are the two biggest advantages in this fight going either way, in my opinion. Vera conditioning, Vera durability. So counting on that, I feel like that finish only for Marlon Vera is a great bet. And on the other side of that, look, Sean O'Malley's the much better minute winner. We all know that. Marlon Vera is not getting 8 takedowns and piling up 9 minutes of control time here, you guys. It's not happening. This is going to be a striking match. And O'Malley will win the minutes and maintain range until, if and when, Marlon Vera lands the big shot. That's how this fight goes. So, it just depends on, do you think that Marlon is going to be good enough tomorrow to withstand the early storm, to find the openings, to close the distance, and to land the big shot? Because if you do, you're getting good plus money on him, man. And I also think at even to slightly plus money, Sean O'Malley by decision is a great bet. You're counting on the durability of Vera, and you're also counting on the thing that O'Malley does well, which is win minutes at distance. So great main event, great champion here in Sean O'Malley that has the eyes of the UFC audience. you know, the casuals and the true fans, you know, this guy brings them all to the TV to watch. So I think it's going to be Ann Still. I think it's going to be Sean O'Malley winning this one by decision. But I do not mind taking that finish-only shot on a guy in Marlon Vera who's got legendary conditioning, legendary durability, and legendary fight finishing abilities on the offensive end.
Yeah, great breakdown. Breakdown. Brady, how you see it going down?
Oh yeah, I can't wait for this fight. It's a fight where like I'm picking O'Malley by decision, but as the week's gone on, I just have a weird feeling, like a bad feeling about this fight. Like people in the chat are making like great points in terms of like we've never seen Sean O'Malley in a 4th or 5th round. Marlon Vera is the much more durable fighter. You know, Marlon Vera, you know, has proven that he has 25-minute cardio. Somebody said in the chat that he runs, you know, half marathons each week. So yeah, it's one of those fights where, you know, skill for skill. I think Sean O'Malley's so much more skilled than Vera. I think he's the much better striker. It's not even close, you know, much more accurate, much more defensively sound, much more volume. But Vera has those intangibles, that crazy durability, that great cardio, that dog in him. So yeah, it's one it scares the crap out of me, to be honest. And it looks like money's came in on Vera just as of recent. He was plus 250, now he's plus 211. So money's coming in on Vera late.
It should have never been
me.
Right? Yeah, it does. Especially after Vera looked like he just he looked like he was looked terrible at Williams. But Vera late props, like I know they're popular this week, but they make sense. Like he's somebody that drops the first round in a 5-round fight. He's probably going to drop the second round, maybe drops him the third round. Like it takes a while to get going, but once he gets going, you know, once he starts, you know, coming forward, once he starts letting his hands go, he's very dangerous. And he's one of those guys where he can lose every single second of the fight up until he lands a big shot. And that's kind of what he's been doing as of recent. You know, he let Rob Font outland him by almost 200 strikes. A lot of these guys just outlanding him, but it's that power, it's that durability, it's that landing, that big moment that's winning a lot of these fights. And Sean O'Malley, great fighter, but never seen a 4th, never seen a 5th. The durability could be iffy. This guy's gotten hurt in 2 different fights in the UFC. Maybe he gets hurt here. So I don't know. I like the O'Malley as far as a pick, but I just feel like a lot can go wrong here for him. So I don't know. I think the finish only for Vera. And then I haven't played him yet, but those 3, 4, 5, like they can definitely come and play down the stretch here for Vera as well.
Yeah, great break. Another great breakdown. Johnny, you got to follow that up, man.
It's tough. I mean, they said a lot of the same things I was going to say. I'm picking Sean O'Malley by decision, but I'm not super confident. I think Vera is going to be live, especially in the later rounds, 4 or 5. I love the overs, like 2.5 or 3.5. I do think those hit. It's just like after 3.5, to me, that's where it gets a little bit dicey. Can Vera land those leg kicks early and slow down O'Malley as the fight goes on? I'm not saying he's going to knock him out again like he did last time, but he can probably get to his leg. I mean, O'Malley does not check those leg kicks. He still hasn't since that fight. And you know, Sean O'Malley, I mean, look how he looked against Jan in the 3rd round. It was wild and crazy. And I think Vera is super composed on the feet where he can just kind of slowly march him down. But like Brady said, or Weezy, one of the two, I can't remember. Like O'Malley is the clear minute winner here for sure. So you want to back him, but at the money line price, like it's hard to back. So the decision prop for him is probably the best I would do if you want to play O'Malley. And if you want to bet Vera, I mean, plus 210 is a good bet too. Or look at 4 or 5 decision props. Maybe he squeaks out a split decision somehow, because this fight can go to split. It kind of like whoever wins round 3 might win the fight. Like Sean early, Vera late. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to go with O'Malley. I think he just gets rounds 1, 2, and 3 at least.
Yeah. Dude, it hurts my heart because I'm going to say this off the bat. I want Marlon Vera to win. I don't know. Like, I wish my brain watching tape and everything would have just been like, pick Marlon Vera, because I love Marlon Vera and I want him to win this. Honestly, I like him as a person, everything. I love this Joe Rogan interview. But it's like you guys say, like Sean O'Malley is the better fighter. Like he's the more technical striker. But the thing is like Vera has excellent striking defense. That's why he does get hit clean sometimes and he takes them. But for the most part, he's dodging stuff and getting his reads, man. But O'Malley, like the thing okay, here was the main thing that made me pick O'Malley in this fight. is because in the third round of the Jan fight, he actually won that round. Like, he busted Jan's eye up, and his cardio looked pretty good in it. You know what I mean? And that was a grueling fight, back and forth fight with some grappling and a lot of different stuff. He got hurt in this fight. I don't think it's going to be as crazy the first 2.5, 3 rounds, you know, to like really wear on O'Malley's cardio. Like, I think they're going to be just walking around, both getting reads, landing some strikes, but I don't think they just throw down a lot. So I'm taking O'Malley. I think he gets it done by decision. I guess he could be the first one to finish Vera, but like, what's the odds of that? You know what I mean? Like, Vera is very freaking durable. I think we've seen that if anybody's going to get finished, it would probably be Sean O'Malley, going back to the first fight. I know, you know what I mean? I know his leg got messed up, but he didn't get beat because of his legs. He got beat because he got elbowed in the face on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, his leg had nothing to do with the elbows that landed on the ground. You could still defend yourself and wrestle around with a hurt foot. He did it against Sukentao. But I'm taking O'Malley just because everything tells me that's what's going to happen. It's like you guys said too, like, the UFC didn't even make him fight like the #1 contender. They let him fight like the #7th ranked dude. They definitely want O'Malley to win. It's weird they went to Miami, but I bet, you know, it's like half the new generation is going to be there for O'Malley, and then the real Miami crowd's going to be there for fucking Marlon Vera. Mm-hmm. So, and they at the weigh-ins or the press conference, they was going back and forth. At first, they was yelling like "screw sugar," and then they went back and they was yelling "Cheeto sucks" or something like that. So they was going back and forth. But I'm taking O'Malley. I got the over 3.5, and I'm just saying I want Marlon Vera to kick his face off in the fifth.
In the 5th round, yes.
I'm going to say that. 5th round, face kick off. I'll be happy with that.
I would love that as well.
Yes. Front kick, you know, style. So that's that. But I'm taking O'Malley by decision, but I bet the over 3.5. I think that hits pretty easy. I think both these dudes are pretty durable. I think it does start getting them maybe a little more, you know, grimy in that 4th and 5th round. But yeah. I think that this, you know, I think both dudes showed pretty good toughness, man. And dude, O'Malley might be able to take freaking Vera down in this fight here and there and get like a little control time, because he was able to reverse on Petr Yan and show some. And like, Marlon Vera has terrible take. I mean, he made Corey Sandhagen, a striker, look like freaking Khabib. You know what I mean? So and O'Malley's just a little bigger, but. Not expecting that. I'm expecting a striking match that Sean O'Malley wins by decision. It goes over 3.5, but I'm rooting for him to kick his face off in the 5th. Marlon Vera kicks his face off in the 5th. Dude, shout out to everybody. Matt R, There Will Be Blood. Everybody that came out tonight. This was a great night. We had the best people ever come out, spend their Friday night with us. Weezy, DFS, we're happy. We appreciate you guys coming out. 2 of the best in the game by far. If you guys ever need us to do anything, let us know. Brady, tell everybody where to find them, where to find you, all your stuff. You got your links for your YouTube and your Twitter are in the description, so everybody check that out.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Got hit up about this pod like a while ago, like months ago, and I've been looking forward to it ever since the day finally came.
Got you guys early.
Fun. Yeah, it was fun. Heck yeah, you definitely enjoyed it. Enjoyed talking the fights, and what a card this is. But yeah, going live tomorrow for best bets. Shout out to Cody. He won last season. Hopefully he's back. Maybe next season we'll see.
I'm back next season. Like I said, whoever wins this season got
his job.
I'll quit my job if I have to. I'll quit my job next year if I have to for this. But whoever wins, asterisks though.
I got you. But yeah, 4:00 tomorrow. I know Johnny's on, and we got 2 other guys on that I don't know off the top of my head, but looking forward to that and looking forward to these fights. Best of luck, everybody. I can't wait for this card.
Yeah, man. Like I said, we appreciate you coming out so much from DFS. Weezy, tell them where they can find all your stuff and all the cool stuff you do, man.
Yeah, you can find me on Pub Sports Radio with Brady twice a week. We do Stat Diggers every Sunday night at 6:15 Central Time. We do the DFS show with Gordo Gambles and Monk Maddox and myself and Brady every 8 o'clock on every Wednesday night on Pub Sports Radio. And then you can find me on my YouTube channel, Uncle Weezy. I do a full card breakdown called Just a Tip with Uncle Weezy every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock Central Time. And you can check me out on my Patreon, where I give access to all the analytics and statistics that I've been curating and keeping for over the last few years here. Brady and I did a show on Wednesday night on my channel called Probability. We made the long anticipated return of Probability. And I'm finally getting to a place where the coding is good on my new product to where I can clone it, get it ready for all the different weight classes. And we're going to be doing a pay-per-view only show, which is going to analyze all of the analytics for over-under bets, KO, submission, decision bets, so that we can take these analytics that I've spent so much time curating over the last couple of years and unleash it on the people who are gambling degenerates who want access to the best possible analytics and statistics in the business. I provide that. Brady and I provide a great show in probability. We're looking to launch that sometime over the next month, hopefully, and bring that to the space. And we're really excited about that. But thank you so much, guys, for having us on. 700 live viewers here. That's just crazy over across all the platforms. So we appreciate you guys spending your Friday evening with us. Let's stack cash tickets like flapjacks for UFC 299. Let's go.
Let's go. Just don't have Uncle Brady beating you with a bag of oranges, man. Make some good bets, man. Johnny K, let him know, man.
Yeah, first things first, please check out DFS by the Numbers and Uncle Weezy if you haven't yet. The links are below, but you can find me at JohnnyKpicks on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I also have a Patreon as well, JohnnyKpicks too. Good luck to everybody in their bets. This is going to be a fantastic card, whether you're betting or not. You can watch as a fan. Remember, you don't have to bet every fight. I don't have a bet every fight, but I want to. Trust me, it's fun. But this is one of those cards where just pick your spots. And like literally, this is going to be the best card of the year. Like, trust me, it will be. You'll enjoy it as a fan and just have fun.
Yep. Yeah, man. Mine's Blood Money MMA bets. Links are down here for my YouTube, Twitter, all that. Instagram, Blood Money MMA bets, and I just put out my bet slips and all that through the week. But again, man, I just want to say thanks for Weezy, Brady, and even Johnny, coming out, spending their Friday night, and then 720 people coming out, hanging out with us dudes, man, listening to a show of just some good positive dudes. These are some of the most positive people on the internet. So make sure you guys follow all these guys and only follow the good guys, man. Then follow the good guys, follow the ones that you can trust. Shout out to Gemstone Juve, everybody, SK, There Will Be Blood, Johnny News, Johnny Newquist, man, Matt R. Everybody is out here giving out all kinds of comments. Ryan Jordan, Octagon Outcome, Just D, Mark Anderson, Jeff Bruno, everybody. We had 138 MMA, Premier TV, everybody, dude. We really appreciate it. We had the donos from New York, Robert, Johnny News, Mike, my boy Mike Martin, Vegas Mikey, and then MMA Ricky, dude. We appreciate all you guys so much. Good luck with everything tomorrow. Good luck with all the fights, and just let's hope all the fights go good. And we will see you guys next week. Good luck, everybody.
Let's